Good evening, everyone. Welcome to M3 TV News, the stream that gives you the best news. This is your boy M3, and I have pretty much the crew with me. First Lady Tammy, Luann Love, and our homie Arshawn. Looking pretty dapper, my bro. How's everyone
Thanks. That
doing
had to be
tonight?
silly a little bit.
That's good. That's what's up, man. It's all about having fun, anyways. And at the same time, we're here to pretty much give our opinion, educate, and learn at the same time. Now, before I even get to everything, right? First and foremost, let me go ahead and first show off the banner, making sure that, everything that we do is based off of fair use. Donations is definitely welcome. Subscribing is free and liking is free. Make sure you get the likes up and or feel free to donate. Everything is in fair use once again. And everything that we do for our content, we do own the rights of it. So I would like to highlight the people in the comments. Shout outs to Real Talk with Mimsy Limbs. She was the first to join the board. She says, looking forward to being here with y'all. Salutes to you, Mimsy. We have Over the Top WME, stands for wife, mother, and entrepreneur. This is going to be over the top. I like that pun. Don Frank, salute to you, sis. This is going to be good. And let's see, we also have K Marion. Shout out to K Marion, one of our good moderators. She says, via call. Well, okay, I forgot the emojis. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. If you are new, please like and subscribe to hashtag knowledge and relationships. Stick around, leave comments during the live and critiques or comments in the replay. We are glad you are here. Please share. Stanley Joseph, salute to you, my brother, my Haitian brother. Thank you for tuning in. Sir Hay speaks. Salute to the fam. M3. Thank you so much, my brother. And salutes to the panel as well. All right. So we're gonna get to Luann, I think you have something in the background. I'm hearing some chirping stuff or typing.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to find an article for you. Let me put my phone on mute.
Oh, no problem. So the title is Martin Luther King Jr. Are we living his dream? Now, as a disclaimer, everyone has a strong opinion, whether if they like his practices or they dislike it. Some, like me, is going to be a little bit indifferent, but I'll try not to be biased. I have respect for all leaders and people who at least tried, to lead, the black nation. And K Man says, good evening, panel. Happy birthday, MLK Jr. Okay. But while Luann is searching for some articles for me, let me start off with Arshawn. Arshawn, how are you today?
Doing pretty good. How are you feeling, bro?
Pretty good, man. And I want to know if you would like to be the first to answer this number one question. What is the one word you would use to describe Martin Luther King Jr.? Why, and if so, why did you use that?
Mm, I don't have one good word. I don't think. Like if I were to use one word, I probably would go with disappointing. Like it reminds me a
Disappointing?
lot of Why did I use that word? Disappointing. A lot of
Okay.
times when we look towards black leadership, we see somebody looks like us that's in the forefront. They get a lot of
Hmm.
things. Maybe they get a lot of things done. That's fine. But
Okay.
it always feels like there's something left on the table. Like there was something else they could have done, or maybe the tactics, like a hybrid between MLK's just tacit passivity and my enemy is necessary. I mean, it just there was the doctrine of just taking all the lumps to prove your humanity. That never really sat right with me. But I think he could have done more if he could have embraced an outside perspective. I just think for our people, we could have taken on a more powerful thought process, like internalized a better mentality, other than sitting there and taking lumps and dogs and hoses, and just bracing for it. That always, I mean, I didn't do it, so I mean, I'm not poo-pooing the people that did it, but I just always felt like there was a better way to internalize your own strength than taking the lumps.
Mm-hmm. I
Sorry.
agree. I agree.
Yeah. Sorry. I gotta welcome Miss Mimsy Limbs. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Anytime, sis. Thank you for joining on to this topic.
How are you ladies and gentlemen doing?
Doing
Good.
pretty good.
Real good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Still trying to get the last little one to sleep, so I'm gonna hang back and listen, and then try to chime in when it's real quiet.
All right, no problem. All right. I'm sorry. Which you were still talking, Arshawn, or was it you, Luann?
I don't know if he
I
was.
was
I
finished.
don't know if he was done.
I was finished.
Okay. Luann, you wanted to go next, or do you want Tammy to go next? Unless you got something you want to say. You don't always try to say
Yeah,
the
because
best
I
for
can
last.
still give you. I can still say what I need to say, and I'll just give you the
Okay.
I'll just read what this girl said in here, but when I find it. But I agree with Marshawn a lot. I feel
Okay.
like Martin Luther King, even he did some good things, which was write that speech. And I think that was the best thing of his campaign. I know that sounds really, really bad, but I think that was about the best thing he'd ever done was write a speech. Um, but I think he kind of hindered our people just a little bit because he was about this non-violence, obey your master. He had that kind of, in my head, it was that kind of feel, while we already have slaves getting beat and already, being locked out of society as a people, and here you have someone as a leader. Some people are looking up to you, and your comeback to me is to obey my master, not to have no, don't say nothing to my oppressor, don't speak up for myself. You kind of hindered me. And then I have my brother over here who's telling me, nah, don't let that person beat you. You know what I'm saying? Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your rights. Open up your voice. So I just think that he had that mentality of obey your master kind of feel, and I'm just not feeling it. And it really come to mind once I got out of school and I did more history and more learning, that he wasn't really a big pioneer like we thought he was, and we want to put him on a pedestal, and I'm not about that life.
Okay. So prior to that, right? So you kind of looked up to him like at one point?
Never.
Never.
No,
Oh, okay.
I just wondered to know every year. I wanted to know why they're talking about Martin Luther King, and they only talking about 4 different black people every year in school, and I'm just thinking, like, is that the only black people that have done something great? And then when you get out of school and you do more research, or you go to college and you do more research, and you're reading, you're like, wait, they said this man was all powerful. They said this man did a whole lot, and then you hear backstories of what this man was about underneath. You know what I'm saying? You they're telling our people something, but you making money with the white man underneath. So I just it just certain things that you have to watch out for your leaders, even your leaders today, even your black leaders today. You still have to watch out for them, and you still have to um, learn on your own, really.
Okay. Hey, thank you for sharing like your honest opinion, like Luann. I'll before I even give you mine, I want to get to well, actually, let me get to first Lady Tammy, and then Mills gonna get to you next, and then I'll say whatever I need to say. But first Lady Tammy, what do you think about number one?
Okay, so if I was going to say one word, I would say strength. So the reason I use that word is because there's not a lot of people just in general that were even getting up to say anything, just period. There's a lot of people that chose not to. There's a lot of people that had nothing to say, and he was one that did. So my thing is that whether you disagreed with the strategy he chose, a lot of people didn't have a strategy at all. They just stood back, had nothing to say, was just all just going to go along. But he was somebody that chose, nobody made him to, he chose to step out and go about things the way he did. And like I said, some people disagree with the strategy he used. Some people, like Luann, say, I'm more about Malcolm X, which is fine. You have two different opposing strategies, but there was a mindset of what they were trying to accomplish. And not everybody was willing to even put themselves out there at all. That he got arrested how many times, he got beaten how many times. And the fact that even with that, his mindset did not change to, okay, I'm done with the peacefulness. Let me take it a whole nother way. Because a lot of people would be like, I'm getting arrested, I'm getting my behind beat, that I'm going to do something else. So I feel like it takes strength that even though these things are happening, even though you're going through these things, you're still willing to stand on what you're trying to do. And like I said, a lot of people were not even willing to stand up and say anything. A lot of people just sat in the background, pretending like nothing was going on. So you have people that, they were supportive of Malcolm X. You have people that are supportive of Martin Luther King. But I feel like just anybody that chose, whether it was Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, anybody that chose to take a stand for what was going on or should I say against what was going on, anybody that chose to do that, I feel like that's somebody, that strength is the word that I would use for that.
Okay. Mimsy, what is the one word you would use to describe Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? And if so, why would you?
All right. So to give a little bit of context, I'm not very familiar, if I'm going to be completely honest. I'm very ignorant to all of the things except for the very, I'm sure, very famous speech starter, And so when I would think on that, I would have to say that inspirational would be the word that I would use. Um, because I feel like going on with what Tammy said, and even what Luann would say, like he inspired people, whether it was to be for his cause or stand up or bring up their own, internal fights or beliefs. You know what I'm saying? It was inspiring. And though I'm not very well versed in all of the things of what MLKJ did, I do know that much. Just that one little piece of his speech right in the beginning, where even I could say those same words and it's still true, just like brothers and sisters, regardless of the color, just like coming together and like loving each other. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I appreciate your opinion. I would just say this. For me, like, before I get to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., now history for me, has always been one of my worst subjects. And the reason why it's been one of my worst subjects is because uh, there's so much in history that's been it's the right word, plagiarized, Luann, or should have been can I say
Plagiarize. That's the
can,
right word. That's the right word.
that's the right
No,
word?
no. It wouldn't be plagiarized, because plagiarized is
Fabricated?
that you copy something without getting permission. So
Oh yeah,
Or
it's
stealing it.
would be a better
Yeah,
word.
okay.
what's the right
Fabricate would
word
be
I
a
want
better
to
word.
say? I want to say like fabricated or something like that. Hey, what's up, DJ Eddie King?
What's going on?
DJ
Yeah,
Eddie King. Okay, that's
yeah.
the
What's going
same
on?
thing as fabricate.
Hey.
Fabricate
Hey, what's
behind.
going on,
My
RJ? All
bad.
right.
Okay, I'll just say Timberwolf,
Minzy, hey, how you
or
doing? Okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh my bad.
All
I'll
right.
just say like just Timberwolf or corrupted, if that's a good word. And so the thing is, the reason why I say this, right, is because a lot of our history that we learn from these schools are never really taught accurately, anyways. Like if you even go back to like our Black history, like our stuff has been stripped down, man, through many generations. So we don't really know about much of ourselves from way back, but just from what we heard. And so when it comes to, Martin Luther King, here's the thing. I'm more of like a Malcolm X supporter, you know, um, but I still respect Martin Luther King Jr. only because for the fact that, you know, at that time, a lot of, colored people, whether it be allegedly, or from stories that I hear, they wasn't really standing up for themselves. And so somebody had to take the initiative to do something. I respect him on that part. However, the only thing that I will kind of hope that, or what I would have wished, is for him to have like a better direction in his people. You know, I know people might be in the feelings and be like, okay, now you're being judgmental, but the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like everybody makes mistakes, and sometimes you don't lead your people the right way. Okay, um,
Mm-hmm.
and so what like Luann said, it's like you kind of use the Bible as a way um, to kind of like you're kind of like pandering like like whites at that time because you want to earn the respect, and so your mind is like, okay, if I just show them love and kindness and follow things through the scripture, then this is what's going to happen, and then they're going to win. They're going to love us back because we are loving them. But unfortunately, things didn't really happen that way. He still got assassinated, just like Malcolm X. But I'll get to about Malcolm at another time in this stream. But that's the only part that I just didn't really like about MLK. Oh no, we also have a guest in here. We have Mr. Stan the
Did you
man.
did you get
Oh,
what I sent
Hey,
you,
what's up,
Ryan?
guys?
I didn't
Stan
get.
the
Oh,
man. What's up, Stan?
I sent it through
What's up,
Messenger.
guys?
okay. Let me check.
Let me read. Can I read something while you looking for that?
Sure, but yeah, I didn't get on your messenger, Luan.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm.
Okay, I'll resend it. It says there's something about the way white people genify. I think that's how you say it. Martin Luther King's speeches by pretending to be moved by them while also trying to move out people who live on the street named after him. I thought that was funny. So people are just coming because every bad street has an MOK. That's another reason why I'm just like disgusted. If his name was so powerful, why every street that's in the black community named Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue is like you have the worst type of people. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but it's just like it is supposed to unite some type of niceness and glorify, but it's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
that's OG.
It's looked
OG.
down as
Jeez.
everybody who lives on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. You poor. You're living in the hood. It's reckless. It's bad. It's not giving his
Mm.
name no light, no glorified, So that right there tells you a lot, and it be from the old people back in the 60s when they were marching that live in those
Mm.
type of neighborhoods.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing, Luan.
Thank you, Luann.
You do make good points.
I,
At
I, I
least
wou- I wouldn't agree with the street thing she just said, only because I used to live close by near there, so I wouldn't necessarily say it was just old people that live
No, I didn't say old
over
people. I said it'd be
mm,
hood, and I said it'd be
there.
yeah.
the people that be like 60 and 70. They be having them nice little houses on MLK Street, but it be hood. Okay. They have they have their whole little fence, all they have that whole little fence gated and that brick little nice little walkway. All the hoods have it, and it's all MLK. And I'm tired of it. I don't care if you 60 years old and you get up on this podcast. I'm still gonna say MLK is a pot of bull.
Word.
I don't care. So don't come for me if you over 50. Don't come for me.
Oh
Wow.
Hey, yo,
wow.
Brick.
Yeah. Hold on for a
Wow.
second. I gotta
Okay.
welcome Miss OG Patrice, and I have to welcome like
OJ
JP.
Patrice. JP,
Yeah.
what's
Hey,
going down?
hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
family.
Smart
What's
shot.
up?
I see you.
Happy
Real
King Day.
talk
Happy
with
King
Vicky.
Day.
Love you
How you
guys.
doing, huh?
Love you all. How's your spirit, everybody? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
We hear you
Sound
our,
good?
our
good.
spirit is pretty good. We're just narrowing down, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, speaking truths, our opinions to it. Hopefully Luann will be back. But she had some good points of how she personally feels about his holiday and why other people who have really helped serve for our country, helped serve for our people, why Malcolm X is not having like a day of celebration. Why there's other people that we don't even really know about in our history besides like those two people. And there's a few others, but there's way more black leaders that really help, contribute into the black society. But I don't want to talk too much because I know we have a full panel. So
Yeah.
DJ Eddie, I know you came in first. Do you mind, right, if I let the two ladies go by first and stand, and then I get to you?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you like?
Okay.
Just out of respect.
Let me say something first because I know OG Patrice, she finna put it down. JP, she finna put it down. They finna put it down.
All right.
and Stan too. So I gotta say
Yellow.
it. Let me just go and get this out the way real quick, okay?
Go
Now,
ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I just this is what I feel about. This is the one where I have to say common sense.
Okay.
If you're gonna make a speech and you're saying non-violent, right? You have to know that there were people giving Martin Luther King warnings, like a lot of white folks was giving them warnings, like because to tell them like, hey man, you can't do this, you can't do that, this, that, and the third. But then because there were other white folks in the neighborhood that some of them weren't moved by it, but they couldn't say anything because they would be disciplined. It would be consequences from their own side of the team, so they couldn't really say anything. But as far as Martin Luther King, his name was only up there because, to me, I feel like it was up there because it was attached to Malcolm X's name, because Malcolm X was moving out there, even though he had
Thank you.
his
Thank
opinion
you.
was totally different. But that's why it was so big, because of Malcolm X, and Malcolm
Thank
X's
you.
name was attached to. I don't know if anybody know anything about Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah.
His name was attached to that too. So but as far as Malcolm X, I just don't understand how can you sit up and say non-violent, right? So you're telling me to if my kids get harmed, don't do anything, don't press nobody, or if I get kicked and punched, you want me to sit there and take an ass whoop? That's what you're saying. So you want me? You're telling me to get my ribs get kicked in and don't do anything about it. And then sometimes I have to ask myself, I don't know if I just can't see it. I'm not doing that. Maybe other people was doing it back in the day, but there were consequences for that too. There was a lot of consequences. You're making this big old speech. This is about to go down. People, they getting their homes raided in and stuff like that. You got a crew behind you. You got a Christian gang behind you. You know what I'm saying? You can make something happen if you wanted to, but you didn't make it happen. Okay, about these people getting their house broken in. About these people getting terrorized. The kids get kidnapped, beaten, stumped, killed, murdered. About all that. You could have dealt with that, but you decide not to. You know what you did? You get on there saying non-violent. What am I supposed to do with that? And no disrespect to nobody out there. What am I supposed to do with that? So I know for a fact Malcolm X saw that. Malcolm X probably, didn't want to say it out in public. I feel like, Martin Luther King was a poodle, and I feel like Malcolm X felt that way too. So Malcolm X came out there and said, "No, we finna defend ourselves. We ain't finna let y'all put your hands on that. What's wrong with you? We finna let that happen." So I didn't really, I didn't really look up to Martin Luther King like that. I just felt like, he was just a normal Christian guy. I don't think he's no different from the other pastors around here that also go to church. But I just felt like he set up the wrong misses. And let's not forget, Martin Luther King was in it for the check too. He don't listen. Listen,
Thank
he
you.
was in it for the check. Okay.
Allegedly.
Now let's just be real here right now. He was in it for the check, and he know it. He not gonna blast it like that, but he know. Come on now. And I'm gonna say it like this. That's my time. That is my time right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Out of OG and Miss OG and well, first salutes to Black Canadian. How you doing, my brother? OG Patrice or JP? Which one of you would like to go first?
I'll jump in first, just mostly because I want to say, Patrice, I saw you on Angela Stanton King earlier today. Shout out to you. It was a good look, sis. I appreciate being able to see our folks out there speaking their truths, no matter what platform they go on, and being consistent and true to who they are. I think that's a huge thing that some of us don't see enough of. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Having said that, I want to talk about, and I know you talk about this too, the Other America speech. Because one, people always say the two Americas, it's not, it's labeled the Other America speech. And people always assume that it's the Black America and then okay. Anyway, let's talk let's talk about a couple of things here. By the time that he got to that speech in 67, Brother Martin was headed back to the where he used to be phase. He understood that he had begun to lead his people astray. He led us toward assimilation, which is not what it was that we were supposed to be looking for. I asked this question some time ago. Rashawn answered it in my Facebook group, but I asked, when Harriet was going back and forth freeing everybody, do you really think that she was freeing us so that we could go and live next to those who were oppressing us?
Nope.
Right. So the other thing about Brother Martin is that, well, they needed somebody that they could rein in, right? They needed someone who was palatable in order to get the message out there. What he said in that speech was, it wasn't that white America had come to see Black Americans as equal. White America had come to see the violence against us as intolerable. That was 1967. In 2020, white America watched as a police officer took the life of a man. Almost 9 minutes. What's changed?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing has changed.
So what are we celebrating today?
Right. That's what my thing is.
And just to be clear, not to you, JP. I'm just saying in general. Like, I'm just telling y'all that. Listen, I'm not celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. I hated that this happened to him, but I'm not really celebrating him like that.
Okay,
well, let me say.
I'm
So
happy he got a day. Let's clap for that.
Yeah,
he did get
Black
a
man
day.
got a day that we can take off from work, just like Columbus. So
Okay.
we got a day where we
So-
can take off of work. Thank you.
Right.
Right. And but that's what I want to say. We have this habit of celebrating people and not the message. His message was service. Serve your people, serve one another, do better by each other. By 67, he was talking about a universal basic income. Again, here we are in 2022, still talking about a universal basic income. How about the things that we didn't get right? How about the things they let us lead, that we let them lead us from? We go back to that. We start talking about that. We get
But we
on
had
that
that, JP.
platform.
We
No, we
had
don't.
that, but we did have in the big. I do believe that we were guarantee that. I know that I'm probably gonna get smashed, but I don't care. Y'all can bring it on because I'm here for the smoke tonight.
Okay, let's go.
I think that them pushing integration so much. Oh, we want to be integrated. We want to be with everybody else. Messed the Black people up. It messed the Black people up
Yes, it did. Yes, it
all
did.
He
across,
admitted that, though.
Yes, it
across.
did. But
Because
he
when
knew
it
that.
did that, it
But
took,
he
it took,
admitted
it
that.
took
He- and
food
he
from
knew that.
our table. You know what
He
I'm
knew
saying?
that.
Now we gotta. Now we can't. We don't know how to. At first, we were building our own stuff in our own communities. People don't talk about how the Black Panther Party was an essential part of the community back then. And how they were bringing things um, to light and helping Black communities strive. And so to me, I feel like once we integrated, it just became the Black people voice. It just became even weaker. We became weaker, not stronger in that effort. Yes, I'm happy that there was people, my ancestors. That's what I call them. I'm thankful that they fought and did it all, but it wasn't just one person. You have to have many died and sacrificed just so we can have what we have today. But I think that Black people, even today, we can't even get along. We can't even be in the same room
We
and try to
didn't
make a business plan without it all getting messed up.
we didn't get along then. Why is there this notion that we were this happy coalition of Negroes marching towards happy freedom? It wasn't. People didn't appreciate Martin or Malcolm back then. We were all in the same boat where I sit today, mad because people be siphoning stuff off my YouTube page instead of making sure that I get heard and seen. It's a true statement. But the thing is, we were leaders in ourselves. We were empowering one another. Each of those
But you just
men's
said we wasn't.
message was no. Each of
I
those
thought you just
men's
said we wasn't
message,
though.
Yeah,
no, I said
you
that
said he
we
was.
weren't together as a community.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Individually, we are leaders. They were telling us that we are leaders. We need to lead ourselves. We need to come together and lead. But we have to know that we are leaders. That's what they were saying to us that we never took and we still don't. We keep holding them up as these monolith people who are shining images, knowing that white supremacists and capitalism propped them up rather than take the message, which is that we can lead ourselves and do so. I don't need the other 28 seconds.
But
So
I
wait,
mean,
real quick, right? Real quick. The timer is so we could get to the next people because OG Patrice and Stan haven't got a chance to speak yet, and Black Canadian as well. So the timer
okay.
is necessary. So I got 10 seconds.
10 seconds to talk.
Yeah,
Oh,
before I get to the next person.
you talking? Oh, you talking to JP? Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
go ahead.
All right,
I thought
all
you
right, cool.
I thought you meant that for everybody.
No, that was for anybody that was still talking. I gotta
Oh,
get to the next
hold
person.
on. You said 10 seconds. Hold on. Wait. Can I get that 10 seconds back?
Not too late. You talked, Miss OG Patrice. Yeah. You talked
Oh,
yourself
man.
out of it.
I didn't know, man. I didn't know. Come on, man.
It's all good, man. I gotta get to OG Patrice though. How you doing, man?
Hey, how y'all doing? How's everybody?
Pretty good.
OG Patrice, what's going on?
What's
Peace,
good?
peace.
What's good?
What is going
Um,
on?
I absolutely grew up in a time where, my parents followed the King message. So therefore, I followed the King message under the Christianity at the time that my family was and that I was. My father had been joining the NAACP when Emmett Till got killed in Mississippi and being ran out of Mississippi by the KKK in the middle of the night and migrated to Chicago. That's how my family got to Chicago in the early 60s. And then me growing up myself and discovering Malcolm X, I became more of about the Malcolm X movement by the any means necessary when I saw the way,
Mm-hmm.
the people that were following King were getting beat and hosed and dog sicked on them and all these things and we were told as nonviolent to not fight back while we were getting dragged and beaten in the streets. And then Malcolm X was like, no, by any means necessary, because no war have been won without bloodshed. So I became a part of that movement. So, and I still have instilled a little bit of both in me, but just growing into the knowledge of that. And I was on Angela Stanton King's today because she was talking about, where are we going to go as a people and have the civil rights. What does it look like for us now? And sad to say, I feel like we made one step forward but five steps back as a people, as a community. We don't have these leaders anymore because they are all dead. As a part of the Black community, what has been the detriment of us is because our own people. She spoke of the Black Panthers. I had two uncles that grew up, and they were Black Panthers on the south side of Chicago. I was a kid, a part of that program, that we were getting the free lunch, we were getting the legal aid, and we were getting the medical assistance and everything that was provided by the community, not by the government.
Right.
But also my parents back in the 60s and 70s had a beautiful home on Martin Luther King Drive. It was never always a ghetto. It was actually a beautiful community back in the 60s and 70s. But once government destroyed the Black Panthers through COINTELPRO, which is our own people that always infiltrate the very things that we try to build up, and
Right.
that's been a detriment to us as well.
That's
So
true.
when that happened, government came in and it took all our funding away. So we no longer had these people to fight for us. We no longer had the Black community as a whole to come in where to build the community up. They took everything away from out of the Black community, and our communities therefore starved. And then you build projects which were originally built for white people, and then they integrated, which I think King realized was one of the worst things was ever done when he gave the
Right.
speech of the other America. He talked about leading his people
Hmm.
into a house of burning hell. He realized that. I think he realized where he possibly went wrong, because when he came to Chicago, he spoke of it being the worst place in the world, that was the most racist place, even more racist than the South was at that time, if you pay attention to his speech when
Mm-hmm.
he came to Chicago. So, with all those things being said, to the detriment of our own people that have always turned on our own people,
Own people.
because they did it to King and they did it to Malcolm X. They
Right.
did it to the Black Panthers. They did it to the movement in the 80s in Philadelphia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that movement. It's always our own people that sell us out to the people that are oppressing us. And even right today, that is why we don't have these things in our Black community, because the government has taken everything away in the inner city, in the urban cities, in the Black communities, therefore stacking us up on top of each other and telling us, yeah, pull ourselves up our bootstraps when we don't have a goddamn boot in the first place, because we have no resources in our community. So then now poverty breeds crime. Poverty is a major reason why crime is so high. And I think Black people, we need to realize that if I'm starving and I need a loaf of bread, and you got a loaf of bread and you my neighbor, and I'm knocking on the door and saying, may I have a slice of bread, and you keep ignoring me, eventually I'm gonna bust the door down and get some bread. And so that's kind of where a lot of the crime in the inner city, in the Black community, has perpetuated itself. But the real culprit is the government, y'all. That's the real culprit that
Right.
had a lot of our leaders, allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, had them a lot set up to be assassinated, and to our own detriment, we turned on our own people. Now, what can we do about it now? Today, it's like every time Black people try to get something together. That's why I fight so hard for reparations. It's because the very
Right.
said government that allowed, perpetuated, and allowed these things to happen to our community, and nobody has ever paid the price for it. The government is ultimately the culprit, y'all, because it made us do the one thing that they set us up to do: divide and conquer, to have us against each other. That's why I
Right.
go so hard to say they are the ones that need to pay, and they need to pay that through reparations.
I like that. I like
OG,
that reparations talk.
That
hold
was
on one
so
second.
good. That was
MC,
so
real,
good.
real quick.
Yeah, it was.
OG Patrice, I just have to tell you, every single time I hear you talking, even if I'm not on the stream and I'm watching, I absolutely love to hear everything you have to say, because everything you say is just so powerful and spot on. I just have to tell you, I thoroughly appreciate whenever you get on here, because everything you say is just in point. So I just want to say I really appreciate you. So I don't think I've
Thank
been
you.
on a stream with you. I'm glad I'm on here now. But I always enjoy every time you get on here, because you always have some powerful things to say. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I gotta get to Stan. Stan, my man. What's your thoughts right now? What are you thinking?
Oh, about Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I grew up in the South. So I grew up in Miami, Florida, Dade County.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King, there were like three segments of Martin Luther King. There was the stuff that we got from school that it was just like Martin Luther King, and then we just throw like, make little cards and read a poem, and that was it. Now
Mm-hmm.
there was the stuff at church, and we got it like it was only for control basis because they compare him to Jesus. But I'm like, well, last week you said Jesus was flipping tables, so this is not making any sense. which I knew about control growing up. And then the other Martin Luther King came from the community, which sadly I don't see that happening here because I've been in California for 20 years. And it's different because in the South, it wasn't about so much about Martin Luther King. It was pretty much about everyone that was part of the movement, the civil rights movement. And they just took that time to teach us about what was going on in the past. So it was always an interesting thing to see because there were things that just didn't make sense of a kid as a kid because I came from like the 80s. Like my parents weren't really talking to me about stuff and the stuff at school, integration. I'm totally against it. I'm a child of it. Like everybody hate Chris. I'm like, yep, that was my experience. I just did not like it at all. I did not like going to all white schools. I hated when parents think that going to a mixed or all white school is better for you. I'm like, you haven't asked us what we thought about going to those type of environments. It was never good at all. But the environment, but like again, back to Opelika, Florida, like they'll talk to us about other stuff about like, he wasn't peaceful because for this man to make marches and to put stuff in white people's face, that wasn't peace. It was reminding them that they were wrong. Not saying he's perfect, but I'm just saying like it wasn't peaceful. So we were never like really taught that he was a man of peace because you can't really have peace when you're constantly reminding people what they're doing is wrong. So there was nothing peaceful about him. But also they introduced us to other, other factors in the civil rights movement because that was important for us to know because they knew that we were not getting it at school. They knew that we were not getting it at church at all. So they knew because church, the 80s were completely different than their church because their churches, they were like, making things happen and they were doing things within the communities. So by the 80s, the church was going into that that faith stuff and believing, faith for profit movement. So it was good to have leaders in the Black community to sit down and teach the younger people what was the stuff all about, because you could see all the movies and everything else and somebody not helping you process what it means, it gets kind of confusing. Because at the same time, what was going on for us in America, like keep in mind, there was also apartheid that was going on in Africa. There was also the stuff that was going on in Jamaica. So like, I'm from the islands, there was like corruption in government that was going on in the islands. And so you have all this stuff that's going on at the same time. It was definitely a time for us to like look at it, reflect, and understand what was going on and how all of it was connected. And for today, I just sent Mario a clip. It was from Ann Cutler, not my favorite person in the world, but in this clip, it was very important where she mentioned that everybody benefits from the civil rights movement, but Black people. And that's something that we don't talk about too much because benefit from it, Latinos benefit from it, gays benefit from it, Asian people benefit from it, everyone benefits from it except for us.
Right.
And when we can talk about what was going on back in the day, it doesn't help us to always to look back, like learn from the mistakes of the past and see what things could happen for today. And I agree with Patrice, old school Patrice, because we do have the talking heads that do benefit from the government. We look at Al Sharpton, like what exactly that Al Sharpton stands for?
Right.
What does Mario Van, over that guy named on CNN, what does he stand for? A lot of people, even Farrakhan, like what does he stand for? No, we can talk about leaderships and everything else, but do we really have a leader when all these people pass away? Not really. And that's it.
I just want to make a point to your point. You say you were from Jamaica, correct, originally?
Oh no, my parents are Haitian, but like the
Oh,
whole
Haitian.
islands, Caribbean islands. Yeah.
Ooh, hey,
Oh, okay,
Sean,
all
brother.
right, all
So
right.
I
Because
said,
yeah,
Yeah.
because I know that
I said,
reparations is on the table for Jamaicans right now as we speak. So that's why I thought you said Jamaican though, but okay. But listen,
no,
I would absolutely like to see Haitians get reparations from France. How about
From
that?
France.
You know,
Right.
we're allies. We have to be each other's allies. You know what I'm saying? So when I see the hopes of the Jamaica, the talks of Jamaica reparations is going on for them right now, it's on the table. Like, I'm hopeful because some of our states have gotten it. Asheville, North Carolina have gotten it. Evanston, Illinois have gotten it. So
Don't you
hey,
have
yeah,
don't you have to like sign something to get it though? Like to get the reparation. I think like if you have like
no, you just have to be a descendant of whatever wrongdoing or atrocity that was done. You have to be a descendant of those people. Like in Evanston, Illinois, their
Mhm.
descendants are getting some form of reparations because of redlining in that town. What didn't allow their ancestors to buy housing and push them out because of redlining, and now
Mm.
their descendants are getting paid for that. Asheville, North Carolina, are getting millions, 2 point some million, or is it 2 point some billion? I can't remember, but
And land too, right? Aren't isn't some of them getting
mhm.
land
Yes,
as well?
because of the
Okay.
atrocities that were done
Mhm.
to their
Mhm.
ancestors. So any
Right.
living ancestors of those people are getting their reparations.
I
And
need to look into.
Jamaican, same thing for our allies in Jamaica, our black and brown brothers and sisters over there as well. So we
Mhm.
have to be happy for our people on any platform when they get it, because that means that it is absolutely possible for us, and I want us to believe that it is.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like for our generation, we saw something that our parents would never thought. Besides having a black president, we saw apartheid go down. Like for
Mhm.
my kid to see that and just like what was going on in South Africa, and to explain what was going on, to show her all these old movies and these reels, and to see like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that was going on that she, she's like, wow, I didn't know all this stuff was going on, but she's being pushed to integrate. Like, you need to integrate. And sometimes she feel lost. She wants to be with kids that actually look like her.
Right.
And I have to ask her, like, what's going on for you that you want to be with kids that look like you? And she's like, well, I need to learn how to fight. And I'm just like, what's going on with these other? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I could think about it. There are some things that we still
Fix.
gotta do. Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with us learning about ourselves, because a lot of times people will make it seem like us learning about ourselves mean that we're racist or prejudiced, and I'm like, no, we need to know about
Mhm.
ourselves. This is our history, and it's
Yeah.
important for us,
Can
and you
I?
can't take that away from us.
Right.
Uh,
And then how you gonna tell me about my history?
Hold
You know
on,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like how you gonna
That
tell me
part.
about my history?
Right.
yeah, real
I,
real quick. I gotta get to black. Sorry, I have to get to Canadian black man real quick. After I get to
Okay.
him, then I gotta get to Mr. And then I get to the rest of the guys before we get to the second topic.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to your guys' conversation got me think about a lot of things. First and foremost, concerning Haiti getting reparation. Ghana did their own in the way by the president of Ghana confronted the president of France for what they've been doing to Ghana. If I right noticed it, that France also took over the Ghana as well. Not only they put them on the spot, they also realized they were robbing them. So they got their money back from the French bank. That's number one. They force a lot of corporations to start trying to steal their resources from the country that they can go and have it refined outside the country. They say going forward, everything will be done within their own countries. There's the reason why Ghana is considered one of the forefront country in Africa that welcome people back to their motherland. That's one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Number two, as a full-blooded Nigerian, where both of my parents is from Nigeria, I know that a lot of people don't know what's been going on within Africa as a whole. There have been a lot of misinformation being put out about Africa out here in this nation that I find very disturbing, but I digress. What I do understand when there's a miscommunication from both sides of the aisle between the African diaspora and the African American. Within to this day, there's a division that's taking place within the black community. You notice, I'm sure it's not just me alone. The Nigerian community, the people from Ghana, the people from other African countries, they don't see themselves as black or African American. They see themselves as separate from the group for a lot of reasons. And this coming from the immigration during the 80s, 70 to 80, when they called such thing as African booty scratchers or being disrespected or being no. It's funny, but I got caught out as a young kid by black
No,
kids.
I'm sorry. I didn't it was just the way
I
you
know,
said it. I'm sorry.
I know, but it's not only that. I remember from my elementary school, PS20. I went back to that school after I came back from the country for a year or two. And before I even realized it, a week before I went to my school to check out the place, a Nigerian boy got killed over his basketball. He didn't know how American kids operate. And it was because of that murder that took place in my own hometown elementary school that way created division among Africans and African Americans.
So
People
that's
don't get it.
so that's how that started.
Yep. Because it was a big issue in Brooklyn. And among Africans, they don't keep quiet about it. When they realize African American people treat African people with such visceral in a way that they start telling their kids. And I'm telling you this is coming from my parents. They tell their son, they tell their daughter, do not marry African American. That was number one on top of the list. Do not marry African Caribbeans. If anything, marry someone from their own culture or a European white woman.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it,
sad.
it's scary and it's messed up when you hear that. I was taught that, but I never follow it. My wife is from Trinidad. That's number one. So I broke their rules. In a way, it considered to be taboo. I could care less about it. But I understand where the vitriol and the anger and this the mindset they created because you would think people from Africa will be feel welcome when they come here when they don't feel welcome at all. In corporations, the same thing happened too. Imagine America having sending their moles in Africa in many different locations to make up certain elections to have certain people be elected because they know in that particular person who get elected into office, America will not have their hold on a lot of these African countries. So America not the only one doing it, Europeans were doing it as well. So a lot of things have been documented in Africa. But people don't really comprehend what was going on. The multiple countries you see in Africa, it wasn't country for there to be 4 to 5 big kingdoms. The European America had their hand in dividing them into small countries. Because they knew the strength of Africa as a whole. What they've been doing for the past couple of decades, sowing seed of division. Not only among the Africans, but also among the African American and the Caribbean alikes. Because let's look at Black Wall Street for a perfect example. When black people are fully united and all in one mind, one goal, one focus, you see how powerful they get, right? So why do American people have an issue with black people coming together and building their own, but allow the Jew to do so, to allow the Asian to do so, and other nationality, but when it comes to African American, they got a problem. They were trying that in Africa. Ghana was one of the first countries to say they had enough. They've been getting themselves back for almost 10 to 15 years now. There are more than 8 to 10,000 African American, African Caribbean that left the U.S. and moved to Ghana mostly and never want to come back. There's a YouTuber on YouTube named Maya. He took his time. Everything he left China. He went to school to China to study and you realize how that China was making fun of African people. This man spent almost 3 years going all across Africa to change the narrative of what's been going on in Africa. You know how hard that is to go to every African country, know that the African government can be act real shady to other African nationals? Did a few times he went to my country, got pulled over for no apparent reason. They think he was a scammer, not realize he was a big name in Africa, trying to promote Africa excellence. If you go to his YouTube page, you can watch multiple videos what the guy been doing. He's showcasing the richness, the investment, and what's taking place in Africa that a lot of people don't even know. So imagine he, one person, and many people start to follow after, trying to change the narrative, the mindset, the information that being put out there about African people. Some people did ask me, "Are it true that your women out in Africa walk around with their breasts out, barefoot and pregnant?" This happened in elementary school and in high school out here. So where did they
Thank
get that
God it's
information
crazy.
from?
Did somebody really ask you that?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm not playing games about that. I take
Oh,
that
that
very
is the
personal when people act
dumbest
like,
thing to ask.
yes, but guess what? They still push that narrative. Even when I left high school, when I was working my 20s, there's still black folk still call me African booty scratcher. It got to a point I told you, you keep calling me that.
Wow,
Guess
dude.
what? One day you will end up working for me. This is the problem with African American and African people. I try to let people know from both sides what the hell is going on because I experienced it myself firsthand. I got nothing against African American people because I understand they don't know their history. But when people don't know their history and know their past, how do they understand their present and their future? How would they know their true identity? I told a black person about maybe 7 years ago. You want me to go back to my country? That's fine. At least I know who my real identity is. That's number one. Two, I brought them a rude awakening. I said, if you go to any African country, there's no such thing as a black Israelite. I'm just saying you don't have to take my word for it. You can go to Ghana, you can go to Ethiopia, you can go to Liberia, any African country. You go there and act those folks and see what they tell you in your face. Because the first one will tell you, like, what's this all about? Another one, Happy Kwanzaa. It's not an African holiday.
Okay, can we have this conversation though?
I understand, but
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
No,
say
yeah,
is
no, no,
this.
no.
yeah.
But I would like to have this conversation,
Okay.
because it's a real one. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. He's right.
Okay.
There aren't African Black Israelites, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
When we talk about Hebrew, Black, blah, 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 the Bible, that message, that story that's in there,
I
when they
understand that.
talk about that
Mm-hmm.
story, what they're talking about is the fact that the only people, only in this country to be enslaved, Black folks, only ones not to receive the kit and caboodle, us, just us. That's what they're talking about. They're not
Right.
talking about, oh, when we were way back over when such and such and so. We're talking about right here in this country. We are
And I
the Israelites here. Let's make sure
and
that
I
we clarify that for
I get that,
everybody.
and I
Yeah,
get that.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
and that
out here,
Yeah,
and
because
that's
I was
facts.
about to
That's
say,
facts. That's facts. So
and I get that, but out here in New York City, it's
that's
been
what we
told with a
are.
different narrative, and that's what
Yes,
I've been
but
getting from out
when
here.
you
I'm not holding nothing against you.
no, no,
It's
no,
what
no. I'm
I've
not
observed.
asking you. I'm not saying that you hold anything against us. But when you're here talking, we can
Mhm.
have these conversations. But if you're going to be allowed to say Black people don't know their history and make these pointed statements, then we need to then either push back or make pointed statements back at you. I
And
would
I
rather
get that
push
and I
back
understand
than
that,
point.
and I
Okay.
get
Mm-hmm.
that, I understand that. But this is what I'm trying to say. There been multiple African countries invited people to come over to trace their history, to trace their root. Ghana was number one on the list. They never stopped nobody to come in and find out. They didn't say come and live. They said come take a vacation, understand the history, see if you can find anywhere that connected to you. Because here was the problem. Many African countries, they were forced by their mode to destroy information so people cannot trace back their root for a particular reason. My country had their constitution got taught of around the early 1960s, even though they got their independence around 1960, 1963. But why they taught the constitution for what purpose? It was to hide something that was being going on. I don't know why. What I'm saying, a lot of information have been hidden for a purpose, for a reason. I fully understand that. I'm not bashing nobody. But when I was out here in New York City, I'm trying to re-educate people what's really going on. They call me all sorts of things. Yeah, a lot of African countries got colonized, including South Africa. The brutalization that was going on in Africa was not being recorded out here. It's being recorded over there in Africa, and people don't know that was going on. People that were getting taken from them. We had to fight back to the point where we were risking our life. Then after we risked our life, the people who think we have our back, which is our own people, were the same people that backstabbing us. There was tribal war that was going so far, was so bloody, that people were leaving Africa just for the sake of peace. That's what's
Okay.
going on. So I'm not bashing nobody. I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just letting you know
Okay.
what
It sound
is
like
going on
it's,
both ends.
but it just sound
Let
like that.
me
That's what you know. What I'm saying what you doing. That's what it sound like
and
to
then I would
me.
like to just say one more thing, and then I'm going to stop. But let's just
You
let's
go.
just let's just make this
oh, I'm not,
thing here
I'm not, I'm
to
not muted.
All
Sorry.
to
It's understandable.
to
right, go
all
ahead.
of
Mhm.
us, right? The one thing is, uh, It's not for me to go and learn African history. I'm African American. I was
I
born right
understand.
here in this country. My people were born right here in this country. I don't know what came before because we were right here. So at the end
I
of the
get
day,
it.
you want me to learn some history? I'm gonna learn this one. I'm gonna learn how my people need to move forward, how my
Okay.
people need to get
I get
ahead
it.
in this life. And that's by understanding the power that is inside of us. What we did not get because we let people prop us up like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, propped up by white folks and whatever propaganda you still got going on today. What I say to you is if I learn my goddamn history and my power, I don't need to know nothing about Ghana, Haiti, anywhere else. Right here is what I need to know. How
Let's
to make
go.
this better for me and mine. That's it.
Let's go.
You can go ahead.
Okay, hold
Let's
on
go.
for a second. Okay, time out real quick.
Mic drop.
Let's go.
Sorry, earlier I
Let's
was sorry, but on the side note, I was testing the timer to see which one would be better fitting or whatever. But oops, hold on. Sorry about that. Let me turn this off real quick. Okay, I gotta get to the number. I gotta get to the number 2 question. Going forward, everybody's gonna have a 3-minute timer because I know we have a lot of people, including the Queen as well too. What's up, Queen 2K?
We kind of answered this
2K.
already, though.
Yeah. So we're gonna skip. Hold on. I want to make sure. Actually, I think y'all did kind of answer this one.
I'm sorry, we did.
Yeah, we did. We answered that one.
Good. We're gonna go to the number 3. Let's see. Do you think that Martin Luther King Jr. would be happy for how far African Americans have come? Why or why not? DJ Eddie King.
Listen.
Yep.
No, you know what? No, hold on. The S right there. The S is sitting next to you. The S should go before me. The S.
I'm messing with you, buddy.
I'm gonna go though. It's not yet.
Yeah. Let me get First Lady Tammy because First Lady Tammy was pretty quiet, so I want to get to her first.
Okay, so real quick, I'm not going to stay very long. I'm actually planning to leave, but so I'm just listening to the dialogue. I think it's very interesting. And so I actually want to have a response to the second question because like we answered that. So the thing about it is, I will say I appreciate his strategy. A lot of people don't like his strategy because it's nonviolent, but this is so I like to try to look at things on a different side to see a different perspective of things. So this is the thing is that the strategy he had was nonviolent. The thing about it is, let's say Martin Luther King Jr. had not been around, it was just Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And and he would have had his strategy, and his strategy didn't work. Like, I mean, some things worked, but everything didn't work.
A lot have worked.
Hold on.
That's that. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
Tammy's talking.
Hold on. So I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So the thing about it is, Martin Luther King Jr.'s strategy was before Malcolm X. And his strategy, which he admitted, wasn't necessarily the greatest. But had he not had his strategy first, we wouldn't have seen that another strategy needed to come into place. So you kind of have to look at it in that way, is that had he not done it, then people would have said, well, we tried the violent strategy, let's try the non-violent strategy. So you almost have to look at it like, yeah, you didn't like his strategy, but at least he tried the non-peaceful strategy. So we could say, okay, maybe that's not the way to go. Yeah, Malcolm X, there were things that got accomplished. That's the thing, is that at least Martin Luther King, he tried a non-violent strategy, and we were able to see whether or not it was effective. Had he not tried it, then there would have been questions about, well, maybe if we'd have tried the non-violent way, maybe X would have happened or Y would have happened. So it's almost like, like I said, I like to look at things in a different kind of way sometimes. And I like to look at it like that. Yeah, his strategy might not have been everybody's favorite, but at least he tried a strategy. At least he tried a peaceful strategy. It's like you have to try things to see if they're effective. And if they're not effective, then it's like, okay, let's do something else. So you have to and this is my thing, is that you have to appreciate the fact that he did try a strategy that was nonviolent. It might have been not as been as effective as people would have wanted, but at least it was something that tried. So we could say, yeah, we tried nonviolent, it didn't work, let's do something else.
All right, thank you, First Lady Tammy.
Can I respond?
Wait.
I was gonna go. I'm gonna let
I don't want to hold it in.
Go ahead.
My bad.
Wait.
Go ahead.
After Luna and then DJ Eddie,
DJ
you
Eddie
want to
King, yes,
respond?
sir.
You can.
Yes,
Okay.
I also got to get to Queen. Queen did just get in here too, though.
Okay,
So
no, I don't
got your
need
opinion.
3 minutes. I don't need 3 minutes. I just want to respond to Tammy real quick. Tammy, both strategies were actually put on the table. They were both. They were not separate. Martin Luther King just became higher because of the fact that people were scared to fight. They didn't know that they could. They didn't feel like they could.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they didn't act on that. And they said, well, let's hold back. Let's not do anything, because if we do, then they're going to kill our kids. They're going to kill us. They're going to take our men from us and come and burn our businesses and put crosses on our house. So the people were already in fear. So that's why they didn't, even though both strategies are both out, they just felt like, hey, I better not do this until Malcolm X decided to say, let me come out here and let me speak to these people. Let me let them know.
But that's
Let
what
me
I'm
let
saying
them
is
know
that
it is okay. Hold on. It is okay for me to fight back. And was on that line. So and even risked his own self. That's why his people turned their backs on him.
But okay, so
right,
but
exactly.
That's what I'm saying is the fact that you have to try something to see if it works. That's the thing, is that if you don't try it, you don't even know if it's effective or not. You have to try.
But how you gonna try something if you're afraid?
Malcolm X strategy was working.
But that's what I'm saying is that, yeah, people were afraid. They didn't know if they could fight back. But that's the thing, is that his strategy was the nonviolent strategy. That was his thing, was nonviolent.
Okay, hold on. Time out real quick. Wait, hold on, everybody. Time out. I gotta get to DJ Eddie.
Yes.
Go ahead, DJ Eddie.
Yes, sir. Listen,
tired of hearing him talk.
You tired of hearing me talk?
I'm sorry. I thought I hit the mute button.
Oh, you tired of hearing me talk? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this up. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this to Queen. Go ahead, Queen. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Queen. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it.
Y'all too much, man. Okay, Queen, how you doing tonight?
I'm good.
All right, cool. So number 3 is, do you think that Martin Luther King Jr. would be happy how far African Americans have come? Why and why not? Yeah, 3 minutes.
Good job, M3.
I think he would be surprised, and I think he might be a little disappointed as well. Just the divide, just where the community is. Yeah. So I think it would be, he probably would have some, be happy about some things, but he'd probably be sad about other things. So, yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Let me see. All right, DJ Eddie, you want to say something?
Let me see. Now go ahead and repeat the question. M3. Go ahead.
Okay, so the question was, do you think that Martin Luther King Jr. would be happy with how far African Americans have come? Why or why not?
Yes and no. Okay, yes and no. I think back at the times when I was growing up, he might have been happy, but as far as the new age of right now, he would not be happy. It's been a lot of crazy crime. It's up there. It's like to a level all the way to like almost level 10 right now. It's level 9. I think he would be disappointed in this day and age, in this new age. He would be disappointed. But I don't care, because I was disappointed in him too when he made certain moves back at his time, moves that that actually got people killed back in those days. I didn't like the moves that he was making, but Malcolm X, Malcolm X wasn't always a violent man. Malcolm X, he opened up a lot of rehab systems and other bookstores and things like that, and he was helping the people. He was helping the people. Anytime the people needed help, Malcolm X was right there to put his life on the line. He was right there. And almost damn near every neighborhood, he was right there ready to put his life on the line with no weapons, okay? With just his bare hands, him and his clique. Now, far as black folks is concerned, you know, there were a lot of jealousy. Okay, there were a lot of jealousy in his camp because he was too powerful. Okay, the only thing he did was he took that message that who is that talking?
I don't know.
Keep talking.
But
Don't
but
stop.
but go ahead. Listen. Go ahead. I'm gonna pass it up. You know, I'm gonna pass it up. I'm going to pass it up.
No. If you still have more to say, go ahead and say it.
No, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm just gonna pass it up.
Okay, then. All right.
Yes.
And let me make this clear. When somebody's talking, especially when they're on the timer, do not interrupt your flow. I'm just gonna say that again. Do not interrupt the flow.
Thank you.
Excuse me. All right. Stan, hold on, let me get to you real quick. All right. What you think about the number 3 question, Stan? And the moment we start talking, I'll give you the timer.
Go. All right.
All right.
He'll be disappointed. I sent you a clip from Boondocks. I think, you know, I mean, that was his own vision. But we have to make our own choice. And we have to make our own paths. So I really don't care what would he think, because he wasn't around to see what we had to live and go through. And you can't just always think about what somebody else wants us to go through, how they envision the future, when we have to live through it. And it's a little different when somebody can speak pretty words compared to somebody who has to live through those words.
That's it?
And I still got 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, keep talking. If you got it.
Oh yeah, somebody said something about Haitians. What was going on with Haitians? I'm still within my 2 minutes.
I think
ain't nothing wrong with no Haitian now.
Okay.
They just
I don't want to turn nobody to no plate of
money,
goats.
but that's okay.
I don't want to turn nobody to no goat. Then you'll be on my plate. But
Yeah.
we don't care about that.
But no, I think like sometimes we could get so caught up what other people would think. But it's the fact, like, man, we did a lot of good, and we still got a lot of stuff to go through. And I don't think we don't give ourselves grace, because not everything that we can't fix everything. That's the next generation. The only thing that we can do is make sure we pass information for the next generation, and give them the tools that they need to survive and to succeed, and making sure those informations pass on, and understand, like, we got to do certain things in practice. One thing in practice for me that I'm proud of, like growing up in the South, I was always taught, like, no matter what happens, whatever door is open for me, make sure that people that look like me come right behind me, and make sure that doors stay open. Now, living in California, I can tell you there's a lot of people that look like us that don't want us in those doors, and that's sad. And there's a lot of things that we currently need to talk about that we don't talk about a lot of, that we can address, because that does affect our community, that affects the money in our community, that affects the future of our community, that affects the leverage that we can have from our community. And that's dangerous when you don't want people that look like you to come into the field of work. That is stopping a whole generation of people to grow up, you know, healthy and knowledgeable, and it can make an impact for the next generation. And I'll leave that alone. I will not be a minister nor a politician. I'm good.
All right. And that is time's up for you, Stan. Thank you for
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you. Let me just
I'm muting my mic.
All right, cool.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, because you have it. Yeah. Go ahead, JP.
Okay. First, I want to address the question: do you think that Martin Luther King would be happy with how African Americans have come, and why? No, he would not be happy. 2, he wouldn't be surprised. 3, and I'd be right along with him. Like I said, 1967, he was talking about universal basic income. No one has one here in the United States except a couple folks out in California, I believe, a couple of little spots trying to do it. So he'd be outright disappointed, and with good reason. But I want to address the conversation in the chat because they keep going back and forth about slavery. Let's go ahead and clarify the difference so we can just put it to rest. The slavery of which you were speaking before folks got onto that boat is slave free. What we are talking about here in the United States that affected African Americans specifically is chattel slavery. It also affected those who were in the Caribbean areas because of sugar. Like, if you want to talk about the ironies of this of racism, capitalism, slavery, it is that the one thing that is killing everybody, sugar, is also what kept chattel slavery going on for so doggone long. Okay, we need that's the thing. So for all of the back and forth going on between a black man and an African man, at the end of the day, y'all are fighting over nothing. They weren't the same thing. And
Same
yes, they were
color.
both bad, but they were not the same thing. And we need to make sure that we understand that. Instead of you going at one another, how about we both turn an eye towards capitalism, white supremacy, racism, the fact that none of us has a basic floor. If something were to happen, 48% of the American population was at or below the poverty line before 2020. Now go ahead and add all of the pandemic and everything else that's happened, and you tell me we ain't hit 50, 51. We got some bigger problems than this nonsense right here. Let's start thinking about that. That's what Brother Martin wanted us to start thinking about. That's where we were supposed to be headed. That's where we need to be going now. No one cares about how we got here. You may be right in that. But we need to understand that how we got here, we have to break it entirely, perhaps even leave it in order to get that done so that we can get onto a better playing field where everybody has a chance.
Thank you, thank you. That was some good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I was gonna say, make sure that so the ones who haven't spoken so far, I know OG Patrice, you haven't spoken, Black Canadian, you haven't spoken, and then Mimsy, you haven't spoken. So what I'm gonna do, let me read the comments real quick, and then I'm gonna get to Mimsy next, and then I'm gonna jump to Black Canadian, and then we'll get to you, OG Patrice. Yes, I'm aware. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
And then me.
All right, I haven't got to you, Luann?
I can
Dang,
go
my bad.
last. I don't care. I like what OG. I like what J Pam just said.
Okay, I got you though. All right, my bad. All right, so Mimsy, are you still here?
Interesting.
Okay. If she's not here, I'm gonna get to Black Canadian. Black Canadian. All right, what do you think? You still remember the question? Number 3. Do you think that Martin Luther King Jr. would be happy with how far African Americans have come? Why or why not?
It could be a mixed answer, be almost like a yes and a no.
Okay.
Based on what I learned about his goal and his focus in life before he got killed, what he was trying to push. He was hoping that black people would have the same right that white people would have, able to vote, able to work, able to do what they want to do. So a part that was being fulfilled, yes. But the other part, what he was hoping for, did not happen. Because if you think about the 80s and the 90s, we have the wrong set of so-called leaders that took their place. And they were driving the black community to the wrong. I'm not trying to say something crazy, but I be trying to figure out how in the world did black people hold these so-called celebrities as their leaders, whereby they were pushing that negative narrative, which almost degrade their own folks, all for a bag. Which I'm trying to scratch my head around that. Because you have strong civil rights leaders who did what they could for their own community. Yes, they got turned on by their own people. But yet
If
they raised up certain people who don't really care too much about them, but only care about themselves and make money off it. It was
say
something
that again. Thank you.
that was some Reverend Al Sharpton, the same guy who was in the Playboy Mansion. I'm trying to think about how he's a civil rights leader. Jesse Jackson, who also was Reverend Al Sharpton inside the Playboy Mansion. I'm trying to figure out how he's a civil rights leader as well. Because I'm like, yeah, two individuals with a Reverend name in the Playboy infamous mansion. I know you ain't trying to preach to the white chicks over there to walk away from that because that wasn't happening. So I'm trying to figure that one out as well. As African, we are taught to see things for the big picture for what it is, and what I was saying was buffoonery. Not just one. Two, we have so-called leaders that they pop up that degrade them, that put them down, and push a negative narrative that everybody trying to follow. That's not the real reality of what it is, and took advantage of that. But yet, people still will praise their name. I find that crazy. So it's a mixture of yes and no. Because I'm sure if he was alive right now, he could be scratching his head and say, "What have I done?" I'm not gonna lie about that because yes, he's humble enough to know he made mistakes. But how big of a mistake he made, I don't think he realized that yet. That's my piece.
All right, thank you, Black Canadian.
But can I
All right,
ask Canadian a question really quick? Everybody's got
go
a
ahead.
past. So what about that?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Everybody's got a past. So if
I
we're gonna
agree. If I
have
have a
leaders, what do
pass,
we do about our leaders having a history? I'll be a leader, but I've got a history. How do I keep that from being something that holds me back?
I get that. I get that because during the 80s and the 90s, I watched and observed. I look at Reverend Al Sharp and I ask myself the question: what's he doing for the people? What is he gaining? Okay, you're in the MSNBC right now. You got a gig over there. You're making money over there. Okay, that's fine. You have a so-called action network. That's fine. How far are you pushing the narrative to give people what they wanted, what they needed? Are you sure, buddy, you playing both sides of the fence? Which I'm trying to figure one that one out too. Jesse Jackson. Well, I have my view about him kind of like a little different here and there. Yes, he walked along with Martin Luther King. He did a lot of other stuff with other people in the past. That's great. If he repent for his way, I can understand that.
Okay.
But sometimes he has some choices that he made it put into question. But what can I say?
Yeah. All right, I gotta get to All right. Oh, sorry, I keep calling you Mimsy. Mimsy. What do you think about the number three question? You can feel free to answer honestly.
Um, oh, I would, but thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do I think that MLKJ would be happy with how far African Americans have come? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I feel like some of the conversations that are being had are conversations that shouldn't be even relevant anymore. And then I feel like now there's a lot of progression that has been made that is very impressive, especially considering from the time that he was in. You know what I'm saying? Like even something as simple as me here hanging out with you guys, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's that's a big deal, you know, to some people, and to some people it's not. And that in itself says something. And I'm just going to keep it simple like that because I mean, like I said earlier, I'm not very well versed in all of the things that he did, but I honestly am loving all of the different aspects that I'm hearing here because you guys are bringing a whole new light to MLKJ. So that's cool.
No, thank you. Sure, my bad. I forgot to put the timer up there. But um, no, what we do, like in our YouTube channel, like we try to educate the best that we can, but at the same time, we don't know all the answers. So then we also like bring people to the panel who can help educate us as well too. And the common goal is for um, not just like well, all blacks to come together and be united as one, but for every race and every nationality to understand one another. And hopefully one of these days, like we come to a point where, well, actually, we will come to a time whereas when it comes to like maybe your culture, your history, because we don't know like a lot about like you guys's thing, and so like you could be here to like help educate us. You know what I mean? So, but thank you for answering the question. I appreciate it. Okay. So OG Patrice.
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you think about the number 3 question?
Hmm. I feel like it's a trick question in a sense. Um, I'm split with a yes or and a no too. If you know, I would say um, we cannot disregard or not acknowledge how far we come because of a lot of his efforts. So I never want to not deny. I never want to deny that. But I don't think he would be happy because one of his speeches he gave, he said, "We're coming to get our check." And that is a check we have yet to receive. So I don't think he'd be happy if he lived in this day and age and see that we have not received that 40 acres in a mule, no matter how far to a certain extent we progressed as a people with things that he did help come to light. But when you still look at it overall, racism and discrimination still have choked our economy and the opportunity for African Americans at nearly every turn. Still, right today, at several historical moments, the trajectory of racial inequality could have been altered dramatically had we received that. Perhaps no moment with no opportune than the early days of Reconstruction when the government temporarily implemented a major redistribution of our land and gave it right back to the very slave owners that had enslaved us. The New Deal, the civil rights struggle, all those things today systematically, the inequality still persists and affects us right today when it comes to housing discrimination, unequal education, police brutality, mass incarceration, employment discriminations, and massive wealth and opportunity gaps. So for every black household and every white household, there's an 840,000 deficit difference between the two. To be 13% of the population and only 1.2% of the wealth is blacks, and most of those are your upper echelon and elite celebrities. So, really, where are we today when it comes to the wealth gap? We're behind, still behind the 8 ball. I say this all the time. When you have had every stumbling block, not to say been many black people that have managed to pull themselves up by the bootstrap, get it from the mud, however they want to say it. But when you look overall, and you still live in an America, a country that is one of the richest in the world, and the wealth gap and the equality is still not there for us versus our white counterparts, I don't think he'd be happy. I
All
think
right.
right today he'd still be saying, "We're coming to get our check."
All right. Thank you,
And I
Miss
close.
OG Patrice. Thank you, Miss OG Patrice. Okay, I gotta get to Luann Love, and then welcome back, Mister You Know You Know. After that, I'm gonna get to him. Um, Luann, where's your thoughts?
I'm just gonna keep it brief. I don't really care. That's my true feeling. That's what I really want to say. I wouldn't really care what he feels. I think he would still be um in the group with Al Sharpner, Reverend, and Reverend. I forgot his name. Other his name. I think he would still be in that boat. Um, and that's how he would be looking at. That's how he would just be one of them. That's what I would be feeling. Um, so no, I just wouldn't really. No, I don't. I don't. That's it. I just don't care.
Okay. Well, thank you for your honest answer, Luann. All right, let's go get to Mister You Know You Know. How you doing, my brother?
What's good, y'all? What's going on, people? Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Um, I mean,
And
I
Mister, I'm
think,
gonna give you 5 minutes because I know you haven't spoke for a while. So
yeah. I don't need the time. I'm good. You know what I
All right,
mean?
I'm stuck on the timer. You're good. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. With that being said, I don't think that he. How can I say? He I think he will have mixed feelings. Honestly, I think he would love how far we came with technology, but I also would think that he would, in an essence, kind of feel like I think he would kind of be also upset. Salute to OG Patrice. You know what I mean? I think he would be upset as well. As far as just certain things that we're doing as far as our behaviors, and how we handle certain things. You know what I mean? So I think he would love the technology. I think he would love the opportunities that we're giving, but he also will not like some of our behaviors and some of the way we approach things. You know what I mean? Whether it's handling certain things in the streets or just our behavior overall in the media. I think he would definitely feel a ways about that. And I definitely appreciate the sacrifice that he made, but not just him. I appreciate all the brothers and sisters that stood up and said, "This is not fair. We're not going to stand for this anymore." You know what I mean? And even though they may have different methods, the Panthers had their methods. Malcolm X had his method. You know, W. Du Bois, everybody. You can go down history. Marcus Garvey. Everybody had their methods. But the one thing that, Jackie Robinson had his method. Kurt Flood. I can keep going on and on and on. But the one thing that really transcends to me is the fact that they said, we're going to make a stand because we are not going to let our people suffer like this no more. Like, we don't care. We don't care. We are going to make our voices be heard. And anybody that's willing to put their voice on the line and let their voice be heard, knowing that they probably are going to die, just based on that, is nothing I can say bad about anybody like that. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us, we get to speak freely. You know what I mean? We get to read freely. And that's because of the sacrifices that somebody else made. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to be on a platform or have the opportunities that we have as far as working or anything else if it wasn't for these people putting their life on the line. You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, I appreciate him, Brother Malcolm, Mega Evans, all the brothers and sisters, man, that was going through it back in the day. Going through it. You know what I mean? But they still said, nah, our people gonna have better. And we don't care what we gotta do. We don't care if we gotta die for this. We're willing to die for this. Salute to Muhammad Ali as well, Bill Russell. All the brothers held it down, man. I really, really love all them brothers and sisters, man. Angela Davis, can't forget about her. Maya Angelou, you know what I mean? All the people that said our people will be better. You know what I mean? And we were willing to die for this. I really, really, really commend that and appreciate that. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get to the number 3 question. The number 4 question. Number 4 would be, excuse me, hold on. Number 4 is, what more needs to happen for Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream to be a reality? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But have we kind of touched up on that a little bit? No? Okay. JP, would you like to go first?
Okay. Well, his dream is already a reality. Our children and their children do play together. We've assimilated quite nicely. And unfortunately, we ain't gotten shit for it. So how about we go in the other direction? That's my 2 cents.
Perfectly
Okay.
said.
All right, Luann. Go ahead. I'm
I
going to just
feel
let you go.
nope. I just feel I'm a ditto everything she just said. That's it.
All right.
No need to go on.
All right. So, Mr. Hold on. Hold on. Let me hide this comment. Okay. So, Miss Patrice, what do you think about number 4?
Woo. First, Black people are going to have to start having more pride in themselves as a people in their community again. The things that I saw growing up, I feel that a lot of it is lost. Um, the morals, the values, the dignity, the respect for the people that did fight and pave the way and died and shed blood. Because it's easy to talk about one something, but like 84 said, they were willing to die for it. Now we don't have no leaders now. We don't have any. The ones that are, they're dead. They're gone. So nobody want to be a leader anymore because they're afraid of dying. So it's easy to speak and say and talk about change and making change and doing a change when we know that either the government or by the hands of our own people can harm us, right? And we won't be here anymore. Um, is the dream what more we need to do? We definitely need to become a community again. We definitely need to take pride in our culture again. I feel a lot of that has been lost through the entertainment, reality TV, social media, all the fakery and the fuckery, all the buffoonery, all of the false flagging, a lot that we do, a lot of the perpetuating, uh, um, to the detriment of our own community, the self hate, the selfishness, the self loathing, the self absorbedness. I can go on and on that our people has become. So, how's that dream going to become reality? Hmm. We got to fix us first. We broken. We broken. And that's a reality. We can't talk about nobody else or nothing else until we fix us. When we look in the mirror, anytime that you can hate to see your fellow man that look like you make a dollar, have a dollar, accomplish a dollar, and you can do any and everything to destroy or go out of your way to not celebrate and spend your money with them, that's a problem. But we do it. But we'll take our money and we'll give it to the beauty supply stores and the nail shops that spend $0 in our own communities. Shame on us. So where's our pride? And they give nothing back to us. They take it and they go build up Young Chung Joy and whoever else. So we got to be real about our own first. Let's fix us because we broken.
Mm, okay. Thank you, Miss OG Patrice. Real quick, shout outs to Colin Mitchell, my guy. Thank you for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to tune in, Colin, and join the panel, we are talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so um, feel free to hop in. Just let us know, and I'll send you a link. Okay, so no, so I don't lose nobody. Queen, excuse me. Number 4,
What's
please.
up?
What you think about number 4?
Um, I think I agree with what 84 and OG Patrice said. I think yeah, there's good, bad, there's the ugly, whatever. Um, but at the end of the day, I think it's really sad when we drag the people who came before us and we always want to bash them or put them down. And you live in a society today where what are you doing to make a difference? What are you doing to be a leader? What are you doing to impact your community? Other than dragging the people who gave you the opportunity to walk, even if they put one stone down on the pebble ground, they still put one stone down. What stones are you putting down? And I find it really disheartening how we can just focus on what a person didn't do versus what they did do. There's good, the bad, ugly in every situation. And I will never disrespect any person that came before me, had water hoses put on them, dogs sixed on them, lynched in trees. I will never talk anything disrespectful about them. I think our ancestors are rolling around in their graves disappointed in what we've become. We still think we're crabs in a barrel, rats trying to fight for the same piece of cheese instead of working together. You don't hear, I don't hear much of any other culture drag their ancestors and their leaders. I don't hear them talk about them. I don't hear them ride them. I don't hear them discredit them. I don't hear them disrespect them. One, because a lot of their media is controlled, so they can't, but we do it all the time. And I find it just so hilarious. It's sad. It's sad. And I think they were great leaders. They did the best that they could, and they made the best decisions they thought were best. They were human, flawed, and had mistakes just like anybody else. So that's just me. I think it's disgusting, and I think that's why we are still where we are, because we see each other as the enemy instead of standing up and being a change. Be the change you want to see. So what are you doing? And I'm throwing this out to everyone on the panel, and I'm throwing this out to everyone in the chat, everyone who'll see the replay. What are you doing to make a difference in your community? Are you just going to sit back, ridicule, and drag down everyone who's trying to make a difference? It's easy to say what you would have done, but you're not doing anything today. It's
Thank
easy to
you.
say what could have been done, but you're not doing nothing today. So I find this really disgusting. But anyway, I think he's rolling around in his grave.
All right. Thank you, Queen, for your answer.
Can we
Okay.
answer?
Hmm.
Can we answer?
Oh no, I gotta get to there. I got to you already, JP.
No, no, no.
For number three.
Queen just asked a question. I asked, can we answer it?
Answer Queen's question. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I first of all, I personally am have along this journey rebuilt a few Black folks along the way, and throughout my whole life, it's been the thing that I have done, taking people into my home, fed, clothed, and sheltered. So when I have this conversation, I speak from a place of service. But what I will say is, just like my ancestors, I understand that my life will be under a microscope, not just because I'm choosing to be in the public eye, but because I am a parent, but because I am someone who has to be able to be accountable for my actions. And after my death, people are going to be able to look at the things that I have done and say, these things she did well, these things she could have done better. Why did she do these things at all? I won't be able to answer unless I stand up here now and give you my whole story. So my suggestion is that we understand that and we think about those things. We be accountable now so that later on it will be easier for our people not to be crabs in a barrel.
Thank you. And it wasn't
I understand.
necessarily it wasn't necessarily directed at
Yes.
anybody in particular. I'm just throwing it out there for us to think about. And I know your story. I know that what you've done. I'm talking about the people who look like us and ain't doing shit, but got so much to say, got so much criticism, got so much critique, and you ain't doing a damn thing for nobody. You ain't doing a damn thing for for your brother who looks just like you. That's who I'm talking to, who got all this mouth and got all these critiques for someone who paved the way, risked his life, and left a family behind. Whether he did dirt or made bad decisions, so what? He threw his line on the line and knew he had a family for us.
I'm with you.
That's who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
But when I spoke, I just want to say this. When I spoke, it was just so that people will understand that those who do, we look just like us. right?
Yeah.
We still look the exact same, but sometimes we're not heard because we don't have the big, pretty, frilly, whatever.
Yes.
The
Yes.
spotlight's not shown
Yes.
on us. So I'm
Yes.
saying it out loud so you know I'm right here in the Tucson community. Just the people around my neighborhood. It might be 5 or 6 people that I'm dealing with right now, but those 5 or 6 people will have a chance. And the only way for y'all to know that someone like me exists is for me to say it and for you to go and find someone like that in your community.
That's
That's all.
right. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Mimsy, I'm just going to ask you this question. This is probably a quick one. What do you think that would probably make the world a lot better than what it is today?
I love that I have my own special question. And I think honestly, I know, right? I think that honestly, there's a lot of hate out in the world. There's a lot of
Mhm.
lack of communication and misinterpretations. I think that if we could learn to communicate better and respectfully, like adults that we are, and keep our feelings kind of like a little bit on the back burner, because the feelings are what build that fire in us, but the feelings are also what make us kind of cloud our judgment sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just a matter of love. It's love, it's respect, it's communication. And even if we don't always agree on anything, you know what I'm saying, fundamentals or even just like whatever it is, it's love, respect, communication. It's really just as simple as that. Love, respect, and communication. If we could do that, you know. Hey, what's up, B Moon? Love, respect, and communication. That's mine.
I appreciate your perspective, Mims. I really do. Being the person that's on the outside, kind of looking in, I really think it's important and valuable for you to let us see things in a different light. So I'm actually happy you're here and hoping to get your raw and true, honest thought and opinion and views on this perspective from an outside looking in. So appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't oversay it enough that I'm not educated in this like topic or subject or even in like your like general community, So this is beautiful. This is very eye-opening. I love being able to get into your minds and like understand where like everyone is coming from, because I don't understand it.
Well, I have a
Right. But you know
question.
what, Mims? I want you to see you're witnessing the um the real raw hurt, the real raw anger, the real raw um detriment that our community has become because of what was done to us. And when people don't realize that this is a generational thing, it is, because it's affecting us right today and it has affected us 100, 200, 300, 400 years ago. So it is a real thing. And I'm glad that you're witnessing that and seeing that.
Real quick, I gotta get to Stan. I gotta get to Black Canadian. Stan, would you like to go ahead first? Well, not first, but next.
Sure thing. What's the questions?
Next, the question is, oh boy, let me see. Next question was number 4. What more needs to happen for Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream to be a reality?
I think I answered that earlier. I will say
Wait,
we have to not
you
look
sure you
at.
already answered it?
Well, because I said something in effect of that earlier on number 3. Because if we're not being honest about like we are the kids of integration and it hasn't
Okay,
worked.
got you. Okay,
So I did mention that point. I'm
yeah.
just going to
Okay,
say
then let me get
this.
to. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. We have to come to that place where we have to live our own dreams. We can't be held down by the dreams of our forefathers. You got to let that stuff go. Because again, like we live in this reality and only we know what we need. And also only we can see what might be going on. And we have to now more than ever buy land, make sure that our kids are well off, put stuff in the will that our kids can't touch, our grandkids can't touch, only great-great-grandkids could go ahead and have it, because we have to build the next generation of people that's coming after us. Because if we don't do this, it's going to be worse than crab is in the bucket. It's gonna be rats in the bucket. And I don't know if people seen rats in the bucket. That's not pretty because rats eat other rats to climb out. And that's where we're really at. Like there's certain stuff that we have to say bye to. We have to say bye to hip hop. We have to say bye to sports. We have to say bye to a lot of stuff and look at different avenues and praise different avenues for us to get into that could benefit the people. Nothing against sports and music, but that's not the only thing that we are about. And we have to like look at stuff to invest, and we got to be smart.
Yeah.
Look at King David,
Right.
what he did for his son Solomon. He had to invest in the next generation, and that's what I'm going to say. Like we got to invest to the next generation, the generation after that, because we no longer
Got
have
you.
Big Mama House. So we got to do something.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Stan. Well, first, I'm gonna get to you, Black Canadian. Yeah, shout outs to Black Man Unfiltered. He's up in the building. How you doing, Black Man Unfiltered?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Nothing much.
Salute, sir. Happy King Day.
Happy King Day to you too, sweetheart. Queen, how are you today?
Yeah. Right now we're on the number 4 question, but I'm gonna get to Black Canadian real quick, and then after when Black Canadian answers, we'll get right to you. Okay, Black Man Filter.
No problem, brother.
What's good, Black
Okay.
Man Unfiltered?
First and foremost, hello, I'm Black Man Unfiltered. How am I?
How you doing, brother? Hey, listen, your boy 13 away from 5, brother. 13 away from 500. So I need to get there. I'm gonna get there, bro.
I hope so. You do.
Okay.
What more need to be happening for Martin Luther King Jr. dream to be reality? More black corporation. When I say that, look at the white corporation. Look at the white institution. They're able to lobby for their power. When I was saying for other past podcasts, we need to support black business, when I'm referring to support black business, support it to the point it grow into a corporation you can hire more black people. Because as an IT professional working for 20 years plus, working in the white corporation, we are forced to work even harder than our white counterpart. That is the reality of it. Not just only IT in many other avenues in corporation, but we don't have a lot of black corporations that rival them, whereby you don't have to work for the white corp because move over, join the black corp and build them up. I think that's the problem that we have right now. I heard we had some black institutions that is great, but we need more than just that alone. Because when you don't have your own lobbying power, how can you lobby for what you require for your own community? The multimedia, the mass mainstream media is mostly run by the Jewish community. A lot of people don't understand that. So they got strong lobbying power. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. They got NYPD present every time when they need it, no matter what the occasion may be. Whenever they think that black community request the NYPD present for their own event, that never happened. This is why I said when you can't support your own, how you expect to acquire what you need for your own people? That's the bigger issue because you don't see what is going on. Black people have a very strong power and come to purchasing. They have the dollars. But where you invest your money in? Well, Martin have been trying to go out and call out these corporations since you like so much the black dollar. Why you having to invest back in the black community? You like to promote all kind of things. This week, today, he say no corporation to mention MLK if you don't have to do nothing for the black community. You're not investing. You're not getting for lip service. You want to see action. Imagine when you have your own corporation, then you can have your lobbying power. Then you can have things done within your own community. The agents have their own institution and corporation as well. I work with one or two of them. So they got lobbying powers as well. It's one thing you have your institution, but when you don't have your corporation to support you, what thing can be done in here in this nation? If you can really support your own black business and force them to grow, then you can see what could really change in your own community. Other than that, it'll be the same cycle over and over for the next who nominate generation. That is the truth and that is the facts.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Black Canadian. Okay. Let me get to for some turn this time off. Okay. I'm gonna get to Black Man. Oh shoot, it disappeared. I was just gonna get to the brother as well. All right.
He might have a signal issue. That may happen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, when he does come back, well, I'll let him answer like the next question. So I know I am really pressed on time. So what I'm gonna do because I do have 5 minutes before I have to wrap it up and get ready for work. I want to just jump to like the last question, the number 9 one. What is a Martin Luther King Jr. quote that you think is the most powerful? Why do you choose, and why will you choose that quote? And so, let me see. Should I give 1 minute? You know what? I'm going to still give you guys like 3 minutes. Let me see. Stan, do you have a quote in mind? You said no?
Give me a minute. Let me look it up. Give me a minute.
I
Okay.
got one. I got one. I can go ahead and read mine.
Okay, for sure, OG Patrice.
Hatred paralyzes life. Love
I
releases
got
it.
one.
Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
good job.
Why did you choose that quote, Miss OG Patrice?
Because hate is the very thing that started this whole thing in the first place. Hate perpetuated slavery. Hate perpetuates systemic racism right to this day. Hate for people that's our color. It has perpetuated this whole situation in this country and all over the world. Hate. If we can get rid of hate, yeah, then it won't be anything else but for love to prevail. But we have to get rid of self hate first.
Right. Now that
So
is
that's why I use
so
that
powerful.
analogy. Hate has been everything that has caused everything in this world. Is because people hate you because you look different from them. Your skin color is different from them. You talk different from them. Your traditions are different from them. People actually hate you for that.
Mm,
So, it's been perpetuated and still continues to be, knowing that it's so deeply rooted in the fiber of the American being, and that hate like that breeds hate. And it goes from generation to generation because the races of old, they raised the races of the new.
mm,
Racism and hate, you're not born with it, you're taught it. So that's why it will never die. It will continue to be because we still have people that are going to hate, that are going to raise other haters. Those are facts. But Black people have to stop with the self hate because
mm.
that's the greatest thing that the slave master has been so successful with us. And I've said it before, it's taught us how to hate each other. How
All
can
right.
we look at ourselves in the mirror and not see our fellow man and fellow woman that looks like us, that comes from all walks of life, in all shades, colors, and sizes, but yet we hate? So when we do that upon each other, look in the mirror because you're doing it upon yourself.
5 seconds. Okay.
Self hate.
All right. Thank you, Miss OG Patrice. Um, Black Man Unfiltered. Thank you for tuning in. We definitely
Absolutely.
appreciate your presence.
Yeah, man. I was at a event and then I came back home. I did a live a few minutes ago. Then I had one to do in like 10 minutes. However, I got to support fam. So it's good to see you guys. Good to see everybody on the panel.
Thank you, brother.
Now I will say that this is what I want to say. I'm gonna get right into it. It's some things I've heard on the panel that I wanted to discuss. I heard one of the things I didn't write down because I tried to write these things down because I want to be particular in what I want to say.
Mhm.
I heard we have to learn how to control our emotions. I heard I wrote write that down. I heard about self-hate. I heard about forefathers. I heard about different things like that. And so I wanted to break those things down if I can.
No problem. And I'll give you 5 minutes if that's cool.
Absolutely. That's all I need.
All right.
Strategically, when we said we have to control our emotions, you can't control emotions. You can't, if you take a lion and you put a lion in a cage, and you beat that lion, because that lion is powerful, and you beat him over and over again, and you stab him and you beat him and you throw stuff at him and you shoot at him, he's going to become more angry, and he's going to become more powerful than he already is. And when you let him out, he's going to kill everybody. That's what has been done to the black. That's what has been done to the black race. That exactly has been done to us. We've been poked, we've been pounded, we've been poked, we've been jabbed, we've been hit, and now that we're coming out the cage, everybody's upset. We've always been powerful, but you also have to respect power. So if I go into the jungle, I'm going to respect the fact that that lion is there. I'm not going to walk up to a lion and pet him on the head because I know that he's powerful, right? So, but we haven't been respected. I'm going to leave that alone. All right. We talked about forefathers. The young man that's beside you, I can't see his name. He said that we got to get Mr. Stanley Joseph. He said that we have to get away from back what our forefathers did. What forefathers? We've never had power. We've never given direction. We've never had anything. What forefathers? Who can we learn from? What forefathers are those? What are we talking about? The forefathers of the Confederacy, the forefathers of they wrote the Declaration of Independence. All those forefathers, all of them that owned slaves. Because we don't have any forefathers. We didn't have any pillars. All our pillars got sodomized by slave owners. Right? Anybody that showed any strength, you got book broken. So there was no power. We still don't have power right now. We don't own anything. We have men that's on the street corners right now with guns and selling drugs and say, I'm repping this street, and the street belongs to the very man that you say you're against us. So, yeah, Jonathan owns the street. Jonathan owns the apartment complex that you live in, and you repping it and killing people over something that don't even belong to you or your family or your heritage. So, and then we talk about the self-hate. When we talk about self-hate and crabs in the bucket, let me go address that. There's something I like to use analogies. There's something called a bull shark, and a bull shark grows to be 25 feet, 30 feet in length. And if you take a bull shark and you take him and you take a baby one and you put him in a 5-foot aquarium, the bull shark is going to grow to be 5 foot, right? Because the bull shark only grows to its surroundings. So let's take it into black people. You put us all in one area. And then in the 80s and the 70s, you pump drugs into the community. Then you force everybody to start killing each other over that very power. And then once you start forcing everybody to kill each other with that power, then you take resources, you take jobs, right? Then the crack epidemic hit, right? And so then we got even lower on the totem pole, right? And so now everybody's killing themselves over something, trying to benefit and make money. Right? So we can't grow out of our surroundings because we were redlined. But I also wanted to add pit bulls in there because pit bulls are very special to me. You could take a pit bull, they're very loyal to each other if you raise them together. But if I take 2 of my pit bulls that I have here in my backyard and I put them in a cage together and I feed them together every day, they're going to eat together, they're going to sup together. However, if I start putting enough food in there for 1 pit bull and not 2, they'll share it for a little bit. Then if I take a little bit from that one and start just putting 1 little biscuit in there, they'll start to look at each other funny. But then if I put half a biscuit in there, they're going to kill each other. Because they're going to kill the thing that's in front of them that's stopping them from eating, and they're going to kill what's in close proximity to them. And so that's what's happening in our black neighborhoods. I'm poor, I don't have no money, and you talking about, it's black on black crime. But we don't talk about white on white crime. We don't talk about Hispanic on Hispanic crime. We don't talk about Asian on Asian crime. We talk about black on black crime. But people kill in their own vicinities. Hell, we don't have gas money to go to the rich parts of the neighborhood and kill nobody. We're taking from our own because we don't have. So we have to talk solutions here. The solution is, how about we get this generational wealth thing going? How about we find jobs for these young men? Instead of them killing each other, they can go to a job every day and not pay them $7 an hour when they can go sell dope and make $1,000 a day. But put them in programs that'll help them. Put them in programs. Put them on the pipeline. Put them in places where they can make show examples of $5,000 a week, $6,000 a week, or $1,200 a week, or $1,300 a week. There are men. There's young men out there on these corners right now that will sit and work. They will work, strong, cut up, muscular, black, dark men that will get out on these pipelines and get out on these roadways and work. But then we gotta admit, when we're 13 years old and I stole something at the corner store, now I have a theft charge on my record, and I'm 26 years old and I can't be redeemed for. I can't be redeemed for it. I can't be redeemed for it. Now I have to suffer.
Strikes. Yeah.
We'll take something, and I know my time's up, but we'll take something we'll take something from something I did when I was 13 years old, and it'll prevent me from taking care of my family at 26. And then you wonder why I'm on the block selling. Because nobody will hire me. We're not cleaning up records. So if the government wants to do something or we want to make change, then the conversation has to be this. How about we take these young men that had crimes at 12 and 13 years old? How about we take them and we seal their records and wipe their records clean and give them a new start? And I guarantee you half of them will go get jobs. Right? We got money for everything else. They'll give you housing. They'll give you Section 8. They'll give you food stamps to get you to move the man out of the house. They'll give you all of that to move the man out of the house. But they won't give you money, a stipend to go get mental help. They won't give you stipends to go get your record clean because they want to keep you in the box. They want to keep you like the bull shark I talked about 3 minutes ago. You'll never grow to your potential because they already have you in the 5-foot aquarium. You'll never get 25 feet because you're in the 5-foot aquarium.
Yeah.
So when we talk about these things, I'm passionate about this, so I apologize. When we talk about these things, we have to be real about the solutions and how we're going to meet these solutions and talk about these solutions, because we can sit up here. I don't give a damn about no forefathers, because the forefathers, we talk about the white ones. Hell, I no offense to anybody that's white, but hell, I don't give a damn about no slave owners telling me nothing on no piece of paper, because they said we were 3/4 a human being anyway. So they didn't even look at us like we were human. So the Declaration of Independence didn't mean anything for me, for you, M3, for you, Stanley, Mimsy. It was shit, maybe not even from you. Yeah. I mean, it didn't mean anything to us.
If I may also add to that, these are also the same people who are calling everybody now unessential, just to bring everybody into perspective.
So we have to. So we got to look at this at a broader stroke of how listen, if you go do your research and do redlining and go look at how they put all the black. If you notice something, guys, this is something real simple. Go to everybody's in different cities. Everybody, why is it that on the compass is north, south, east, and west? Every time you go down, it's the south, right? So go to the south of every city that you're in, and you're gonna see center blocks, cars sitting on center blocks, old houses. Those are redlining. That is not by coincidence.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Black Man Unfiltered.
I know it, man.
Yeah,
man.
I know. I was feeling the passion for a minute, so I didn't want to cut you off. Like soon as the time was playing.
My bad. I apologize to the panel.
No, you good. But I definitely like hear like everything that you're saying right now. You know, like we got to do more, like, you know, for like our support system, rather than being like, you know, crabs like in a bucket. You know what I mean? Exactly. You understand, like, okay, everybody wasn't really privileged as far as getting to certain advances, but the ones who have been getting up into certain advances, we need to pull our people up.
Yep, we do.
I know I gotta get to I don't want to lose track on anybody, but I'm sorry.
Black David, how you doing, brother? That's my brother right there, y'all. Love you, man.
Let me see.
So I gotta go, but man, I love you, bro. Next time you go live, we'll do the 5 hours like we did last time. But I gotta go.
Definitely.
It's good to see everybody, man. Y'all be good.
Yeah, good to see you too, my brother, man. Yo, subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered Network, man.
Oh man, I'm 13 away from 500. If I get 13, the people I don't know on this thing right here, go to Black Man Unfiltered Network and go ahead and hit subscribe. I'm 13 away from hitting 500.
Say something in the chat so I can hit the link real quick.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead and post it like in the private chat.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to post it in there for you real quick?
Yeah, post it in the private chat, and then me or JP, like, we'll definitely like
yeah, hold on just a second. I'll get it for you. Let me see.
No problem. Yeah, we got you though.
I wasn't gonna hit it tonight, but
that's a genius idea to have them put it in the private chat. I always struggle so hard like doing it on my phone.
All right, I just put it in the private chat, guys. I put it in the private. If I can get y'all to go in there, and the people in the comments, I guess you'll put it in the comments, M3.
I got you, bro.
All right, let's you know what? It will be a blessing to get my 500 subscribers on Martin Luther King Day.
Oh man, speak that into
dude, I'm 13 people away. I know it's more than 13 people watching right now. Hit that subscribe button so I can make this a statement right now.
Real quick then, let me make this announcement. So everybody, right? Okay, I posted the link right in the chat. Okay, there is 14. No, there's 13 people watching, one person on Twitch. Either way, there's 15. There's 15 people watching right now. If you have not subscribed to Black Man Unfiltered, Okay, I don't know what the hell is wrong with y'all. Okay, if you know me, you're gonna know Black Man Unfiltered.
Absolutely.
Okay, this dude has 13 more subscribers to go. Let's make that beyond. Okay, like beyond the meat, beyond
Black
subscribers.
Man
Okay.
Unfiltered, you at 489 right now. I just subscribed.
Okay, thank you, baby. Thank you. So that means I'm
489.
11.
I just
away, man.
subscribed. You good?
Yeah.
All right, 11. Okay, there we go. Now we
Okay,
10.
cool. So you know, people in the panel, like if you haven't subscribe. People in the chat, please take the time to subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered, you know, network. He is definitely like a good brother, man. Like, you know, he has amazing content as well. Oh, hold on,
Nine
wait.
away. Nine
And then
away, bro.
we got Marcus too. Come on, Marcus. Like, did you forget to subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered? I hope not.
I will. Black Man Unfiltered. I will be there.
I'm 9 away, man. 9 away, man.
Okay.
I got you.
So
I
yeah.
just subscribed.
Okay,
All
just
right.
subscribe. Okay, Victor Freeze. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, fam. Right? You know.
Yep.
A community that comes together to help support each other. Okay. My bad for delaying this, but it's important to subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered. Help this brother out. He's been preaching facts, man. He's been having the barbershop talks where men have a space to come together, to let down emotions, to talk about the things that a lot of us are not really allowed to talk about, like
Exactly.
in spaces.
Exactly.
So he is the right guy to go to say, yo, you know, Black Man Unfiltered, man, I'm having a hard day, man, with my wife or whatever, right? I need to just like let out.
He also supports the women, and he makes the ladies' night.
Yeah. I have the ladies. So, guys, let me go ahead and say that if I can. On Tuesdays, I have a full panel of women and men. We come together and discuss everything, right? Everything. I mean, religion, baby mama, single parenting, marriage. We discuss everything on Tuesdays at 8:30 Central Standard Time. On Friday, that's Barbershop Talk, nothing but men. But we do have a segment in the barbershop where we call it In the Lion's Den, where we let the women in with the men to ask any questions, or if they have any beef, we hash it out. On Saturdays, we have the ladies wind down with real women on 12:30 12:30 Central Standard Time every Saturday. So and that's for the ladies. So I have something for everybody and more to come for the network as well. So I appreciate you guys, man. Listen, I'm looking at my subscribers right now. I'm at 491. We're 9 away. And if I can do it on Martin Luther King Day, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. That's bars right there. So M3, those for you. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Really, Queen, you know I love you. OG Patrice, oh come on now. J Pam, I've never met you before, but what's up? I look to see you on my channel.
I love you, Black Man Unfiltered Network.
I love you too, Sugarfoot. And so and so I want to see everybody else's name on the what's his the young man's name at the Marcus Rodriguez. I was on the platform with you, I think last week. You were on yeah. Then I came on Smash or Pass on Saturday, but I had to leave that as well. I was there for that.
And shout out to Coach up there at 3. Coach. Right. Much love.
But man, I appreciate you guys, man. Keep pushing for your boy. I'm at 491. We 9 away, man. 9 people gonna love me tonight. I know it's gonna happen. So but I do have to go, man, before hold on. What's
before you start your life, right?
Yeah. So it's 12:30 Central Standard Time. So I don't know if that's what that is for the West Coast. West Coast, y'all
we're 9:20 right now.
Yeah, it's 9:20.
Yeah, over here is 9:20.
It's 11:20 here. So okay, yeah.
Mountain Standard Time is 10:20. Patrice, you make sure you stay in the right time zone, lady.
I am.
Yeah.
J-Pam.
Okay,
it's 10:20 where we at, J-Pam.
All right.
Okay. And it's 11:20 where we are. So it's 11:20 Central Time right now. So 12:30 on Saturday would be what? 10:30?
See?
Wait, what you say? Say it again.
So yeah, hold on. I was trying to get it figured out. So she said, "What is it on the West Coast?" So y'all 2 hours behind, right?
So right now,
it depends.
9:20. Your time is
11:20. Yeah,
11:20.
That's right. That's cool. Yeah.
So some places will be 3 hours though. It'll be a 3 hour in some places.
Don't pay attention to 420 though.
Yeah. And you know what, guys? Go ahead and make sure you hit that notification button so you know when we go live. Because M3, he's on the panel on Tuesdays too, man, and he really be rocking it out when we do barbershop talk.
I try, man. I try.
Yeah, man. So you do what you can do when you can do it, and I appreciate you, man. Hey, Canadian-born Black David be on there too, guys. We had a powerful conversation. I'm done. We had a powerful conversation Friday about Black men and their mothers. And it got so deep, man. A lot of men are hurting and in pain because of some of the things they went through with their moms. And so if you want to go back and watch it, please go to the channel and watch it. We talked about Black David that's on the panel right now. He really was transparent about the relationship that he has with his mom, and it just brought everybody to tears, man. Everybody was, I mean, we was just toe up for a little bit listening to what he went through with his mom and so many other people that was on the panel. So guys, if you just please go back and watch that and watch that live, man. It was amazing. We really had a breakthrough in some healing, and we're still gonna walk through it with these guys. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for subscribing. It has been amazing. I appreciate you so much.
No problem.
And you said it's
Thank you,
Black Man and you said Black Man Unfiltered Network. That's gonna be. I'm gonna subscribe to you right now after this.
Absolutely,
sure.
bro. I appreciate it. All right, man. M3, I love you, man. Stanley Joseph, good to meet you. J Pam,
Thank
good
you,
to
man.
meet you. Queen, you know I love you, girl, because you know we got that bond. OG Patrice.
Yeah.
That's my dog. All right.
Love you.
Y'all be good, man. Peace.
All right, for sure. Black Man Unfiltered. You're going to get those subscribers up there tonight. So
I'm going to get them tonight, Doc. I believe it. So appreciate you, man.
All right, no problem.
Hey, look, anybody know 2 people right now that's on YouTube? Yeah, everybody on YouTube. Everybody text somebody right now and say, listen, follow this dude right here. And if I get 5 people to do that, we in there. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right, for sure,
your grandmama, your cousin in them, your dog catcher, your side chick, your main dude, your side dude. Just call them right. Just text them
Just
right
like
now.
just create like a whole new one and just
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, for sure. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's all. See, let me just say this, right? And I will make mine short, right? Because like I said, I'm no pressed on time, but we're gonna try to run it until like 9:30, so that way everybody get a chance to speak, especially with Marcus as well too. Thank you for tuning in, Marcus. By the way, I feel like even if it's not Martin Luther King Jr. or just anybody, I feel like people who kind of died for us, whatever color you are, if you're dying for the people, for peace, I think you're dying for just like people to get together and love. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is what I love about just this whole this YouTube, this stream life. Because with the stream life, man, I know we're a small community, but we're a community of solutions and we're trying to help build each other up. And that is a good testimony to that. So hopefully Black Man Unfiltered, he get his subs and get up to 500 by the end of the night. Let me go ahead and just jump into it.
Can I go? My battery's about to die.
Yeah. I was gonna get to you anyways.
Sorry,
JP. But
no, it's
go ahead.
My battery, really, I got 13%, which is about 15 minutes. So,
Okay.
One, shout out to 420. You're not alone. Every 4 to 6 hours, I'm right here, homie. Okay. Second, you asked for a quote. Let me give it to you. I love you, Mimsy. Anytime you want to hit that smoke, sis, just let me know. Here's the quote. And it's from the One America speech. Somewhere we must come to see that human progress never rolls in on the wheels of inevitability. Great day. Okay. It comes through the tireless efforts and the persistent work of dedicated individuals who are willing to be co-workers with God. And without this hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the primitive forces of social stagnation. And so it is necessary to help time and to realize that time is always right to do right. So, having said that, find your power, find your strength, find your voice. And if you got to find your balance with a little bit of weed, then do that. But get out there and take back what is yours. Or if you didn't know that it was yours, take it. It's yours. Get out there and stop asking. Stop trying to be understood. You are powerful. You are strong. You are right in your own right. Go get it. Get you some more people who look just like you and move like you and take what is yours. Don't wait. Ain't nobody ever gave us nothing. Ain't nobody gonna ever give us nothing. Stand on your own. Get some more folks who look like you. Build your community and get yours. Once you got yours, go get some more folks and make sure you leave breadcrumbs for the ones who don't know how, can't, or aren't prepared to get out of this damn system. But at some point, we got to go and we got to start making changes, y'all. That's all there is to it.
Hey, thank you, JP. I appreciate that quote. And just everything, just a whole breakdown to it. Much love to you, sis. I know you have to go, but yo, please shout out like your YouTube channel if you don't mind.
Oh, dang. Yep. The YouTube channel is JP the Aspiring Matriarch. I'm coming back, y'all. I will be back this Wednesday evening, 7:20. I'm trying to get my life right, but I'm a little disabled woman out here just speaking my truth because I done been through it. I done seen enough. I done felt enough. I done took all the blows, all the hits. I lost family members. I've lost it. It's not worth it. The bag ain't worth it. Get you a community of people with whom you can build a foundation on love. That's what we do. Have the same compassionate conversations y'all have over here, but real time. I try to build up real people on YouTube, in my life, in this world. That's the only way we're going to make change is by being the examples that we want to see. So thank you, JP, the Aspiring Matriarch. Peace and love to everybody. Y'all keep your spirit up. And the next time I see you, Queen, don't even come in unless you just start with your theme song. Y'all have a good night.
Good night. I got you.
All right. Damn, I was muted again. Anyways, all right. Thank you, JP. Okay, so let me get to okay. Hold on, Miz. I'm gonna get to you real quick.
It's
don't worry,
okay.
Marcus.
I don't know any quotes. I'm just here to listen on this.
Okay, cool. All right, let me get to I'm gonna get to actually hold on. OG Patrice, you already quoted something. Yeah, she did. I was first. Yeah. Okay. Did. All right, Queen. Sorry, Queen. Number 9. What's your favorite Martin Luther King Jr. quote?
It says, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward."
Okay, thank you, Queen.
So that's my favorite quote because no matter how big or small you may feel, you can still make an impact.
Okay. That's what's up. All right, Marcus. You have any Martin Luther King Jr. quotes? Any favorites?
No, I overall message of him uniting people and coming together, and especially minorities. I think overall what he stood for is what I loved and respected about him. It's very sad that when it comes to figures of minority groups, they always get taken from us very early. I can name one from Mexico that was taken from us very early that was going to make changes. Similar to what Martin Luther King's message was, his name was Raul Colosio, which is like the Mexican JFK. They assassinated him in '94. And he was going against his own political party that chose him. And it was very similar. It was basically helping out people of less fortunate, people who were being picked on, whether it was from the justice system, who were being oppressed, who were just overall just in a very, very bad state, which how it is now. And that's why I respect Martin Luther King, what he was doing for his people. And so just to keep it short, just overall who he was and who he was as a person, as a human being, morals and values and character.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Marcus, man. I appreciate that. And like I said, I said this before. I don't know if you was in it, but there's so many people besides like Martin Luther King that actually, made a difference in the country or tried to make a bigger difference. But you always going to have somebody with hate that's going to assassinate you, or even now these days, people just try to assassinate your character if they can't get to you. And so it's just sad that you have so many good people that just die so soon because you just want to see better for the country, or just for the world, period. I think that, I think people's dreams are a lot bigger than what they see like in America, but you'll never know because life just goes on. And it just doesn't go the way that we want it.
I wanted to add 2 quotes that I do remember back at the top of my head. And one of them from Martin Luther King was, "Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy." Because I think that's the problem right now we have in America. One of the biggest issues So we're at war with each other, whether it's difference of views, opinions, whether it's religious war, political viewpoints. They always want to pick A or B, salt or pepper type thing. And I think that's the issue we have. And I think we can make our own, where we can come together. Maybe we can make a third option or a fourth option that could be a solution for us. That's one quote. And then the other one is, we must learn to live together as brothers, or we will perish together as fools, which is what Martin Luther King said as well.
Yeah, thanks for those quotes, man.
Absolutely.
Okay. Black. I was gonna call you Black Man Filter. I'm sorry. Black Canadian.
You don't call me Black Man on Filter. You can call me Junior on that part of the play.
What's shouts to let's see. He says don't care. Okay, whatever. Okay, what's your number?
I don't have a lot of Martin Luther King quote that I remember. I came across one recently this morning, and I looked it up, but I kind of like lost it because it's something that he said. I will repeat it. We have deluded ourselves into believing the myth that capitalism grew and prospered out of the pathetic ethic of hard work and sacrifice. The fact is that capitalism was built on the exploitation and the suffering of black slaves and continues to thrive on the exploitation of the poor, both black and white, both here and abroad. Them taken from Martin Luther King Jr., The Three Evil Society, 1967.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I respect Martin Luther King for what he was doing, even though he learned from his mistakes, and there was other books that a lot of people have not read that William Martin put out there that what he was trying to push for is what they kill him for. Whenever a man want to do something great for the people that the minority ruling power don't like, they would rather shut you down or kill you in the process. That is true across the board, globally speaking.
Right.
Unless you have a whole country that supporting you, they can't touch you. Just like Ghana, for example. Remember, Ghana and Haiti are like brother because they both got oppressed by the France. But Ghana got the reparation and then some because they take not have it again. You need unity. When the leader and the people unite together for one common cause, you can't touch those kind of people no more. That's the problem.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Black Canadian. Sorry, I had to deal with something like in the chat. Sometimes, we're gonna have our little trolls or whatever. So if you want to take the time to troll, then go ahead and subscribe. Right now, this is on subscribers mode only. Hold on, make sure I put on there. So if you want to troll, feel free to troll, but you have to subscribe to this channel for 10 minutes. Anyways, there we go. That's how you end the trolls.
Yeah, and trolls, don't be shy to donate super chat as well.
Bro, got him.
Exactly. Got him.
Got him.
I should have my air horn ready. All right, Stan, my man. You the last one, my brother, right? For now.
All right, I'm ready.
Number 9.
Okay, I got it. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenges and controversy. And I take that one personally because I have lived it, and it says a lot about your character when you can stand by yourself, regardless that other people stand against you and you stand for what's right.
Okay. Thank you, Stan.
No problem.
All right. Before I give my quote, we have Mr. You know. So, Mr. You know, do you have like a good quote from Martin Luther King Jr.?
Sure. I have a dream. Very simple. The reason I say that is because that embodied everything that he was trying to do. He was trying to live out a dream. He was trying to create a dream for his people. You know what I mean? I mean, for the world, really. But I think ain't no buts in it. You know what I'm saying? He just, he was trying to fight a fight that was worthy of fighting, and I thank him for that. There's nothing wrong to dream. There's nothing wrong to want more. And I think that, especially with what we had, you know what I mean, during that time, for him wanting to push for us to have more, you know what I mean, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? I wish that certain things ended up the way that they did with him, but something else that he said that was very magnifying, and I'm gonna end it off here. He says, it's not how long you live, it's how well you live. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew he wasn't gonna have a long life. He knew that. You know what I mean? He basically accepted that. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I think he died at what, 38 or 37 or something like that. That's the age I am right now. I couldn't imagine losing my life for something of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? And to be on a national stage and still deliver, to be awarded, to you know what I mean, to be loved yet hated at the same time, that's a lot to take on as a man. You know what I mean? You know, and you gotta remember this man had his own family. He had his own congregation. You know what I mean? Just so he could have just sat back and really, his father his father didn't even want him doing all that stuff. His father actually didn't want him to talk about civil rights, none of that stuff. He just wanted him to preach. That's what his father wanted him to do. You know what I mean? Because he felt like he would be more safe. You know what I mean? He was trying to protect him because he knew what he was jumping into was not safe, and that he was basically putting a target on his back. You know what I mean? But he was all right with that because he knew that in order for fruit to grow, a seed got to be planted, and he had to plant that seed. So salute to Dr. King. Much love to you, brother, on your birthday. You deserve it.
All right, thank you. Let me go ahead and read one quote that I highlighted. There was like a lot of quotes that I digged into, and I really like these quotes, but the best one for me is, and I want to pull up. This was the one that says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." Now, of course, it's easy to pick the usual world famous "I have a dream" speech, but this one in one of his speeches, I read that, I was like, it really had me thinking for a minute. Because the thing is that this was the reason why that in the beginning, before all this live stream and building the team up, when I started knowledge and relationships, my mind was like, look, I can't be silent. I know there's a lot of people that I know who has a lot to say, but they choose to be quiet. And even sometimes we still have our conversations with certain individuals, and they tend to shut down, before, well, initially they want to shut down before going live because they feel like no one is going to really hear their opinion. And I had to constantly remind some of these individuals, like, look, like everyone's opinion will always forever be heard. I'm not going to tell you they're not going to agree with you, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if they don't agree with your opinion. What matters is that you use this platform to raise your voice. And if anybody, I don't care if it's the chat, the panel, whoever, anybody try to disrespect people's opinions, like they get reprimanded. Because knowledge relationships is supposed to be made for all walks of life to have a safe, it's supposed to be designed for people to come into the platform to have a safe space. And I never want to put anybody in a space where they feel uncomfortable. So when I see that, I'm like, man, I think like a lot of people who are highly successful, are usually the ones, and yes, the ones who get assassinated, unfortunately, are the ones who are not afraid to speak up, who are not afraid to remain silent. So I give it to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Regardless of the flaws, regardless of the good things he has done, the one thing I will still give credit where credit is due is that he had a voice and he chose not to remain silent. So my only conclusion is I know there's a lot in history that a lot of us don't really know about. Or maybe I do. Like I said before, history has not really been one of my best subjects. Something that I haven't really been getting into as a youth because I was like, yo, anytime I dig into it, it's a whole bunch of lies, and I don't want to waste my time studying a bunch of lies. But um, kudos to all the people who did sacrifice for this country and try to sacrifice for the world and a better life. So, with that being said, I'm definitely going to close this out because your boy got to get ready for work. And I'm going to highlight each and every person. So we'll start in order real quick. Hold on. Let me mix things up so that way I don't get confused. There we go. We'll start with Miss OG Patrice. How you doing, sis?
Hey, brother. I guess my final thought would be, no matter what, we have leaders like Dr. King, Malcolm X, and so forth that paved the way for human dignity and equality. And of course, everything he wanted to see come to fruition hasn't. Some things came to fruition before he left this earth, but a lot of them weren't. And I think he predicted that. He knew that he would not live to see a lot of those things come to fruition. And I think that's the reality of myself when it comes to what I'm fighting for. I may not live to see reparations, but if my grandchildren or my great grandchildren can benefit and one day continue to fight to live to see it, then the fight won't be in vain. I don't think that Dr. King, Malcolm X, and no one that were our freedom fighters from those times fight were in vain. They're human beings. They made a lot of mistakes. They learned along the way, as we are too, as a people. But I think our main bottom line is that we all need to continue to fight. We all need to continue to show love. We all need to continue to not no longer perpetuate help of the hate, or whether it's self-hate or hate for your fellow man, and vice versa. I think that our bottom line as a people is we need to heal. We need to so that we can progress. We and again, we don't have to agree on everything, but there shouldn't be bloodshed amongst our own people because we don't agree. There shouldn't be hate amongst each other because we hate what a person is saying and the message that they're bringing. That has been to the detriment, and that's why we no longer have leaders like Dr. King and Malcolm X living right today. And we need new leaders. We need fresh blood now. But is it going to be at the expense of their life and by the hands of their own people? We need new leaders. Farrakhan is up in age and sickly, and I'm not a Muslim, but I believe a lot of things he spoke on were factual when it came to our people and what he wanted to see for our people, the genuine love that he had for our people. I think that that's our bottom line. That's our biggest fight. We have to get the self-love back, the self-respect back, and heal so that we can move forward. So, in honor of Dr. King today, I would like to thank his family for the sacrifice that was made, the blood that was shared, everything that that generation of people went through. I have so much respect for. And if it had not been for him and the Malcolm X's of the world, we would probably not be progressed as a people as we are today. So I would never disrespect the name of those people. And I thank them for everything that they have done to help us as a people move forward and this country to move forward. And I hope that we can now stand on their shoulders and make them proud and move the needle forward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Go get to Black Canadian.
Thank you once again. I would say it has been a very interesting section of conversation concerning MLK. I got nothing against him because, in reality, what he did and what Malcolm X did, I don't think black people have to hold whatever they got their civil right or the voting right. So you gotta say they did something pretty good. Not too many people would risk their life for the whole people. We need real leaders that willing to sacrifice themselves for much greater good, not fake leaders that pretend to be something they're not, only to go behind your back and sell you for a bag. That needs to stop. Real leaders are not bosses, and bosses are not leaders. Let's get that fact corrected. And what Martin Luther King was doing was following out there at his Christian faith, what Christ have done. I understand what he was doing. It's not easy to follow, but he did it for a bigger cause. And I respect that. Other than that, that's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you, Black David. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to Marcus.
Well, I just want to say thank you. Happy MLK Day, and yeah, just individuals like that who have been taken from us at a very early age, especially in our communities. They're always taken from us early, and I think more people need, like he said, he quoted, it's better to speak up and do things and go against the grain and not be afraid of what a lot of people are going to think. But if it's for the good of your people, keep pushing in the fight. Keep pushing the fight, because yesterday might be lost, but today is, you live in the present now. So make the fight worth it and make the effort, and you will inspire people along the way. So that's all I got to say. Keep it simple. Keep it short.
All right. Cool. Thank you, man. All right. Stan, my man. All right. Let me go ahead and highlight you real quick. What's up, Stan?
So much. Hey, this is a great conversation. I'm glad I'm part of it. And this is for the history books for the next generation to watch this. And just know, like, people our age, younger and older, the fight for us is different. Yeah, we have to vote. We have to buy property. We just have to go a different direction and start investing into the youth. And that's the only thing that we could do right now to help support our people. One of the many things that we can do. And I'll say it again, we got to do more than entertainment, more than sports. And we got to look at other means to matter. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. Thank you, Stan.
No problem.
All right, Mimsy. Go ahead and shout out your YouTube channel.
Hello. Thanks everybody for having me. Happy MLKJ Day, because that's what you guys love. And I would just have to say, if yous are about the Almighty, the Messiah said that the two most important commandments were to love the Almighty Father above all. That was the most important, and to follow his commandments. And the second most important commandment was to love your neighbor like you love yourself. So back to what OG Patrice was saying, you got to love yourself, love your neighbors. We got to love each other. Communication, love, respect. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. You guys have a wonderful community, and just keep it up. I think it's wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Mimsy. Appreciate it. All right. Queen Forever 2K.
I think my closing statement is thank you. Thank you, MLK, for your heart, your love, and your sacrifice. And it will, hopefully, I will make an impact and make you proud. That's it.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mister. You know. Go ahead and zoom in.
Thank you for joining the Knowledge and Relationship Experience. We truly appreciate y'all. Truly love everybody on here, man. Um, I just want to say thank you to MLK for just sacrificing his life, man. Thank all the black leaders for sacrificing their lives, sacrificing everything for us. Thank everybody in the comments. K. Marion, Colin Mitchell, Mrs. Mary, Daryl Long, all our brothers and sisters in the comments, man. Thank you for supporting us, man. Auntie JP, much love. You know what it is. Shout out to everybody on the panel. OG Patrice, Black Man Unfiltered, Queen Forever 2K, everybody that's on here, man. Much love to all y'all. Yeah, I just want to close out and just thank all the content creators. Oh yeah, Real Talk with Mimsy. Definitely like and subscribe to her. Just Kaya. She's actually up next. Please, join her, join the discussion that she's having tonight. Show her some love. Show everybody some love, man. We really, truly appreciate everybody on here. Shout out to Conversations with King. Shout out to Uncut with Daryl Long. Shout out to the Nighthawk, Chef Shapino. Shout out to Jay Takashi. Shout out Mike. Everybody, man. Everybody who's a content creator. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of y'all, man. Much love to all of y'all. For real, for real. With that, M3, take it away.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. It was definitely like a pleasure having a discussion about Martin Luther King Jr. Look, whether if you like him or you don't like him, that's totally fine with me. But at the same time, we're gonna always be respectful for one's opinion, and we're not gonna go overboard and bash. So, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you everybody for joining into the panels. Everybody was definitely wonderful, like giving their opinions out. And salutes to each and every one of you. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed their holiday, and thank you for everybody for just taking the time, like your holiday time, just to tune in to National Relationships. So like, comment, subscribe. Like I said before, if y'all want to troll, y'all can troll, but K Mary, don't time them out. Just let them be on subscribers mode and subscribe so you could have your opinion to say. Anyways, with that being said,
last thing but not least.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I got to troll a little bit before you, Coach M3. I got to say, shout out to that LL Cool J you got on, early 2000s look. I respect it. The early 2000s glasses. Shout out to you. Much love. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, all right, that's what's up, man. Because LL Cool J would be like, because I need love. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, let me stop. So, like, comment, subscribe, and make sure that Marcus get his mind right, and make sure the trolls, in the chat, that is, get their minds right. I love y'all, man. I'll be messing with y'all. All right. Peace, everybody. Laters.
Peace.
All right.
I got my mind right.